This EKN live broadcast of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is being presented by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Look out, Intrepid is back. This EKN live broadcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now back. It is main event time here as we get set to go. Drivers are ready to roll in the Tag Junior category, brought to you by Phil Giebler Racing. Blaine Rocha is going to start on the pole position, the number 209. Carter Williams alongside in that national number 2. Row 2, we'll see Davey Manthei Jr. in the 42 and Austin Versteeg in the number 77. Row 3, Sonny Cervelli in the number 73 and Uric Caravallo in the number 95. Row 4, Noah Gray in the 324 and Jake Preston in the 51. Well, Luke Selican, who started from the tail of the grid in the first heat race after not making it even into qualifying or practice, will start 9th in the national number 1. Your reigning champion in Tag Junior outside of Selican, Christian Brooks in the number 34. Row 6, it will be Emerson Reed and Cale Kanicki, while row 7, McKay Snow and Scott Huffaker. Row 8, Justice LePay and Jim McKinney, while row 9 has Emily Hilbert and Zach Dante. Rounding out the field, Killian Kevany, Willie Axton, and Brendan Baker from the dead last position. And no green. No green flag this time by. So drivers to keep an eye on right now. The issue, of course, with Brendan Baker starting at the tail of the field in the number 3. Willie Axton, a lot more speed than shows from starting at the tail of the field here in the 24X. Watch for those two drivers to be able to work their way into the top 10. Other drivers with the speed. Up front, however, what can come of this run for Luke Selican? He ends up getting to 9th place after the second heat race. Does he have what it takes on one day of being on this racetrack, back with the MG tires and the Leopard power plant, to work his way to the podium? I do not know. Drivers up front very strong right now. Rocha, Williams, Manthei, Versteeg, and Cervelli, all with the speed to win here today. Tag Junior, sponsored by Phil Giebler Racing. Our first of 8 main events getting ready to roll off right now. So drivers into position. Going to get them into their staging lanes, looking for a green. Not in their lanes. Yeah, we're not going green again. For some reason, the outside drivers, Carter Williams, was not in his staging lane. He was on the inside. We may see a move by our race directors here. The whole outside lane rather, was right inside. So trying to do something here to get our drivers to get into their lanes. The right side lane, the inside lane wasn't the right spot. The outside lane all went right down the middle. So they've actually put a little piece of plastic right in the middle here so they'll know what lanes to be in. Let's see who hits it first. Now we're into our lanes and looking to go green. No, it's the last driver. Willie Axton runs into it. And we still don't go green. Tag Junior drivers having trouble getting things underway here. Hopefully we'll be able to get them running this. I think they realize now where they need to be on the grid. Let's see. All right, let's try this one again. We're having a lot of trouble getting these drivers in position. I think they know where they need to be this time. They know which lanes they need to be in. Ideally, we'll be able to get this deal underway. Drivers into positions. There they go. They're going to get them down into their lanes. They're asking them to slow down. Looks good to me. Let the kids play. Green, green, green. Outside row, a tough place to start here at Tucson with that curving left corner. You kind of get hung out to dry twice, both in the curve and heading into turn number one. One driver all the way off the racetrack into the gravel. Going to try to bring that car back on track. I think that's Scott Huffaker. Huffaker all the way off the racetrack at the outside of turn number one. He'll go to the tail of the field. Back out front. Rocha now into the lead. Manthai Jr. into second. What a start for Luke Selican. He'll go to third. Luke Selican to P3. Coming out of turn number 5. Good start for the reigning champion, sporting that national number 1 plate. Let's see if Selican can hold him back. So this race has been shortened down to 18 laps, using those 2 laps of start as part of the race. 2-driver breakaway, Rocha and Manthai leading the way here. Selican's gone back from 3rd to 6th. He'll have to fight his way back forward. Another driver dropping a wheel, that's Caravello. Caravello wide coming out of turn number 5, or number 4 rather, drops a wheel well off the racetrack. So the first of 8 main events on the track for us here. We'll have our podium presentations right afterwards. As soon as we get through tech, we'll have our podium presentations. Of course, the money doesn't get rolled out until Sunday. Good run here for Nick Ramirez in the number 83 as he's up into the 4th spot. Remember I said to watch out for Brendan Baker. He's already in the 17th position. Baker up to 17th. National number 3 trying to fight his way forward now. Baker just doesn't have the form we've seen out of him before. He is stuck back there at 17th spot, not advancing as fast as we would have expected. Manthai Jr. now with the quickest lap of 51.367. Rocha still leads the way as the 2 of those drivers pulling away. 3rd and 4th, Noah Gray and Nick Ramirez. Gray back to the front of that group as Ramirez had taken the spot. 5th is Selican, 6th is Brooks, 7th Cervelli, 8th for Stieg, 9th is Carter Williams, and 10th is Caravallo. Rocha and Manthai trying to stretch it away. So again, Rocha resets the fast time, 51.335. Rocha, Manthai, Gray, Ramirez, and Selican, your top 5. I'll pass the mic over to my fellow cohort, my announcer here, Tony Laporta.
Thanks, Rob. Tag Junior main event, first of the afternoon on the track right now. As Blaine Rocha continues to lead, coming off that dominant heat race he had earlier today. But he is having quite a time holding off the 42 at Davey Manthai Jr. as they go down into 1. Manthai Jr., I got to say, smart driver. He knows when to take a look for a pass and when to stay in line. Manthai Jr. all over the back bumper of Blaine Rocha in that Cosmic Kart racing for RPG out of the Northwest. So it's Blaine Rocha leading Davey Manthai Jr. Then Noah Gray has worked his way into 3rd as Rob hit on a good run by Nick Ramirez. And then last year's national champion, your number one driver on the track right now, Luke Selikin, rounds out your top 5 as Austin Versteeg runs in 6th on his CRG. Then it's Sonny Cervelli, Christian Brooks, number 2 Carter Williams, and Uric Caravello rounding out your top 10 here early on in Tag Junior main event racing, round number 1. And Manthey Jr. shoving Blaine Rocha down the front straightaway, all over the back bumper of Rocha as they head down into 1. They unwind, come back to the left side of the track, set up for the right-handed turn 2, the quick left-handed kink, turn 3. Davey Manthey Jr. biding his time, still here, 13 laps to go, 12 to go next time at the line. In this Tag Junior main event coming up next, S2, their main event. And I do not think we have a bad main event on the track coming up today or tomorrow. It has been awesome racing all day, all weekend. And I'm positive that will continue throughout today's main events as well as tomorrow. S2, Tag Master, all of them. S1, personally can't wait for that. Our premier class this afternoon. S1 running in the final slot of the day. But on track right now, Tag Junior, Blaine Rocha, currently your fastest driver on the track, not only your leader, Rocha with a time of 51.096. Can Davey Manthey Jr. find a way to get around Rocha? Rocha good under braking, able to put a little bit of distance in between he and Manthey Jr. But boy, is Manthey Jr. strong on the exit of corners, especially that right-handed turn number 12 that leads him onto the long front straightaway here. Manthey Jr., every time they've come underneath us here on the front stretch, Manthey Jr. right on the back bumper of Rocha. And here they come again for 11 laps to go this time by. Not as close this time, but half a kart length, maybe less, between the two leaders. Luke Selikin making his way up as well. Selikin still in 5th. He's setting his sights on Austin Versteeg. Versteeg in that CRG. Selikin's moved his way up now. There's a position shift in turn 1. I believe Selikin may have gotten around Versteeg. I'm not sure. He is. Versteeg has fallen back a few positions, and Selikin now up into 4th. We got a kart off on the entry into turn 2. Dust goes everywhere. Can't see the number on that driver. But Luke Selikin now solidly into your top 5 as he gets around Austin Versteeg and Nick Ramirez. I believe that's who he got around. Our monitor right now shows Versteeg in 4th. But as it updates, that is Luke Selikin now into 4th place. As Nick Ramirez looks on the inside as they go down into 1, but thinks better of it. We've got close racing all over this track for a bunch of positions here in the Tag Junior field. Again, this is the first main event of the first round of the 2013 SKUSA Pro Tour. This is the Spring Nationals at Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson, Arizona. Been a great day of racing so far. Not too hot. The wind's been just working with us just well enough to keep us cool, but not blowing over any tents or anything crazy like that. We did hear a little bit of a forecast of some strong winds coming in later today. Hopefully we can miss those as our leaders get the crossed flags halfway home. As Rocha continues to lead, Selikin leads a 4-kart train down into 1. Ramirez looks on the inside of Selikin into 1. He pulls up alongside Selikin, and Ramirez takes the spot and is going to try to bring Versteeg with him. Versteeg crosses over right in front of Selikin and takes the spot away from Ramirez. So a 3-kart swap that leaves Selikin on the losing end, but not for long as he works his way back to the front of that group on the exit of 4 into 5. Selikin now back into 4th. Racing with Ramirez, Versteeg, and the rest of your top 10 practically as he leads a 5-kart train. Here with 8 laps to go this time by, Luke Selikin looking pretty darn good, if you ask me, for not getting any practice yesterday and not even qualifying that go-kart today. Luke Selikin on the number 1 looking pretty strong as Davey Manthey Jr. continues to run behind Blaine Rocha. Caravello up in the mix now with Austin Versteeg and that whole group. basically 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, back to 12th, are all over each other at the moment. We have quite the race for 4th through 12th right now. It just shows you how close this racing is when the quality of drivers that we have show up. Record-setting numbers this weekend here at Spring Nationals. Nearly 230 entries spread out amongst 8 classes. Tom Kutcher and the group at SKUSA doing amazing things this year, guys. As I said, coming up later today, that S1 main event is going to be our last race of the day. And it's perfect that that'll be at the end of the day, so everyone will be able to get on the fence and watch that. So far, the 2 heat races have been insane. Fritz Leesman and Joey Wimsett putting on a great show. Billy Musgrave, the rookie. And then out of Colorado, my personal vote, Sabre Cook putting on a great show in that class. Cannot wait to watch that race later today. S1 is going to be a good show. So as the laps wind down here, Davey Manthey Jr. still just biding his time, not getting overly aggressive, not really sticking his nose out underneath Rocha. He's really, at the moment, seems content with running second. And as we all know, that's not the case, obviously. But he's a very disciplined young driver and is just biding his time behind Rocha, perhaps banking on the fact that he expects Rocha to make a mistake, or not sure what the reasoning is, but Davey Manthey Jr. staying calm and collected behind Rocha. Haven't really even seen him stick his bumper out to take a look at a pass. Rocha with a good lap right now. He's put quite a bit of distance between he and Manthey Jr., the most I've seen between them all day. About 0.3 of a second between the two at the line. Selikin, Versteeg, and Carter Williams, a 3-cart train running down into turn 1. Carter Williams all over Versteeg, trying to shove him past Selikin as they go into 2. Versteeg on the inside of Selikin, now on the outside, and he's got it. Going to try and bring Carter Williams with him on the inside of 4. Williams looking, and no. Luke Selikin holds on to 5th place as Versteeg moves up. So Luke Selikin and young Austin Versteeg going blow for blow right here in the waning laps of this Tag Junior main event. 5 laps to go here. Going to come down to C4 to go for your leader, Blaine Rocha, who is leading a very disciplined and poised Davey Manthey Jr. in the number 42 cart. Luke Selikin getting it on right now with Carter Williams and the 83 and Nick Ramirez in that top cart. Good race, all main event for these guys. Again, as I said, it's pretty much that race for almost 4th back to 10th. These 5-6 drivers, you can throw a blanket over them right now. Austin Versteeg doing what he can to pull away from Selikin right now. Versteeg looks the best he has all day as he holds solid in 4th place. The Utah driver looking good right now as they're going to come down to get 3 laps to go. Again, S2 main event coming up next. A 20-lapper. That is going to be a good race. But I don't think you could find a bad race out here this weekend, folks. SKUSA Spring Nationals off with a bang right now. 3 laps to go. Blaine Rocha going to try and hold off Davey Manthey Jr. for just 2.5 more laps here. Oh, but Manthey Jr. all over the back bumper of that Cosmic. Oh. Never say never, as Manthey Jr. is all over Rocha right now. It's going to come down to the checkered flag. As they head through the S's on the back half of the track, Rocha looks good. As I said, on entry, he seems to be well out-braking Manthey Jr., but Manthey Jr. strong on the exit, and at the end of the long straightaways here, of which we have 2. Here we go, coming to see 2 laps to go. Blaine Rocha, your leader. 42 of Manthey Jr. right behind him in his tire tracks, as he's been every lap so far this main event. We're seeing a meatball flag displayed to one driver in the middle of the pack right now, 95. That's the driver, Caravello, receiving the meatball flag. Manthey Jr. looking to the inside for the lead in turn 4, and he takes it. Manthey Jr. biding his time till he sees the right opportunity, and he saw it and took it. As Blaine Rocha loses the lead with a lap and a half to go to Davey Manthey Jr. As they're going to enter the back straightaway now, Manthey Jr. takes the lead away from Blaine Rocha. We're going to pass it back to Mr. Howden for the last lap.
Solid one here, Tony Laporta for sure. Manthey makes a great move, able to get by. Let's see if Rocha can now return the favor. He puts it right back on the rear bumper again. Former teammates at Cartel Motorsports. They've come up to the ranks together, and now they're going to battle it out for the win here at the Spring Nationals. Rocha trying to find a way by Manthey. Little wiggle coming out of turn number 3. Not going to do it in turn 4. This could be a thing at the end of the back straightaway. Rocha going to crisscross here. I think Rocha's going to wait for the end of the back chute. This could get good. Final lap, Tag Jr. Through the S's, Rocha showing supreme patience. Manthey, did he do it too early or can he hold him back? Down the back straightaway. Manthey's right there. Rocha's with him. To the inside comes Rocha. Does he overcook it? Manthey cooks him in the corner. Crisscross them coming onto the straightaway. No, Rocha's going to win it. Rocha wins it. Manthey second. Great run for Noah Gray onto the podium in third. Austin Versteeg in fourth. Carter Williams fifth. Luke Selick in sixth spot. Nick Ramirez in seventh. Jake Preston eighth. Philip Dennis ninth. And Emerson Reed ends up in a great run there. He ends up in the 10th spot. Tony Laporta, that was a pretty solid battle. You got to give it up for what do you call it, Manthey, because patient, made the move, maybe a little early, I don't know. But he didn't throw the big block at the end of the back straightaway either. He tried to do the inside out. Pretty solid run for him.
Absolutely. Manthey Jr. showed a lot of patience there, Rob. He stayed in Rocha's tire tracks pretty much every lap of that main event, made the move at the right time, but just didn't have enough to hold off Rocha in the last corner.
Like I said, a couple of teammates, obviously, who have raced together for many time. A lot of respect for both of them. They're not going to beat the crap out of each other on the racetrack. All in all, just a great run for both drivers, first and second. They're a great way to start the season off.
Absolutely great way to start the season for each of those drivers. And again, what an awesome kickoff. Our first main event, the 2013 Spring Nationals. This is the best year the Pro Tour is going to have, in my opinion. This is awesome.
It's definitely big, folks. As we said, 225 entries. A great run here with our Tag Juniors. We are off and underway. That was Tony Laporta. We'll have him back here for more this afternoon as our main events are underway. Blaine Rocha, the first winner, as he scores the victory in Tag Junior. Next up and on the grid and ready to go, it's S2. Stick with us, folks. All the main events live on ekartingnews.com.
Today's live audio coverage of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is brought to you by Champion Racing, the Rollison Performance Group, SCCA Enterprises, Art Grand Prix America, Courtney Concepts, SRS Engines, and Kart Sport North America.
Do you remember Intrepid? Of course you do. Their record in the U.S. includes countless wins and championships, from club racing to the Stars of Karting Series and the SKUSA Nationals. Back live, ladies and gentlemen. Second main event of the day. Semi-Pro Stock Moto S2. This is where the future shifter stars in North America will come from, and we have a bunch of great drivers in this category here this weekend. 34 drivers are set to go. Augie Lurch will start on pole in the number 12 alongside Axel Matas in the number 7. Row 2, Cody Dede, national number 3, a winner last year at the Summer Nats, looking for the title here in 2013. Alongside him, the 111 of Joshua Delogier. Row number 3 now, starting 5th, Garrett Boone in the Burrell number 100 alongside Ryan Kinnear in the Champion Intrepid number 3T. Row 4 on a CRG, Troy Dede in the number 441, and on the outside, Connor Wagner in the number 15T. Wrapping up your top 10, a good run thus far for Curtis Paul Jr. in the 177. He'll start alongside the 13 of Miguel Lopez. Row number 6, Sky Finley, a young driver out of Texas in the number 727. He'll start 11th alongside Andres Orozco in the number 2M. Row number 7, 13th and 14th, Alan Hewitt in the 1, and Ben Schermerhorn in the number 55. Alex Michelle in the number 10, starting 15th alongside Micah Hendricks, the 73, while it's Colton Griffin and Chance Stevens on row number 9, 17th and 18th. Both of these drivers, Griffin and Stevens, have the ability to run in the top 10. Let's see if they can recover from 17th and 18th. Jerry Rhodes will start 19th alongside Dalton Egger, while Corey Estelle and Ryan Belanger will be on row 11. Row 12, Tyler Fling and Lindsey Brewer. Fling in the 526, Brewer in the 221. Row number 13, Colton Aldridge in the 77 and Jack Bradley in the 38, while row 14 has Jenna Grillo and Ariana Ramirez. Chris Naria and Christian Sherman on road number 15. Watch out for the 17D of Sherman. He's a Pro Tour race winner on S2, starting deep in the field. He is going to be fired up to come to the front in a big way. Row 16, Luke Shanahan and Koichi Tsutsu, and the final roll, Don Whittington and Miana Wick in the number 246. 34 drivers in S2, Semi-Pro Stock Moto, green, green, green. Tough start for Dede, and he'll go back a couple of spots. They're going to stack him up into turn number 1, 2, 3 wide, coming out of the corner. Everyone looking for room. No, couple drivers together and off. Colton Griffin, cannot believe it. I think that's Colton Griffin. Get out of the car, boy. Fire it up. Let's go. He's just going to walk away from it. Couple more drivers as well out in turn number 2 and 3. I think that was Colton Griffin from the middle of the racetrack out already. Remember, he started 19th, I believe. He gets together with a driver coming out of the corner, slides off almost into the tires in the inside of the racetrack. Another driver off on the outside of turn number 3. They're going to try to get him fired. And another one, a third one, off heading over to turn number 4. Here's your top 10 for the first time. Augie Lurch, your leader. Axel Matas in second. Delogier runs in third. Fourth is Kinnear. Fifth is Boone. Sixth is Wagner. The Dedes run 7th and 8th. Troy ahead of Cody. Then it's Curtis Paul Jr. and Sky Finley underway in S2. Augie Lurch trying to pull away. He's got Axel Matas and Joshua Delogier right with him.
S2 off to a crazy start here. Augie Lurch, Axel Matas, your front row, doing a good job of maintaining, but they're not going to have as easy of a race as they did in that second heat race. Now Ryan Kinnear making a move. He's going to move up to third on that leading edge Motorsports Intrepid as he moves into third place. 2 down, 18 laps to go. Chance Stevens in the 27C goes purple, clicking off the best lap time so far of a 49.190. Much better start, though, for these S2s than they had in that second heat race of the day. Pretty much all our karts off and running until that incident on the exit of 1, entry to 2. A few karts getting together. Colton Griffin, one of them as well. He was having a great day and a great weekend going so far, but he will be back tomorrow. Griffin involved in that skirmish out of 1, up and out of the kart early. So Augie Lurch with a few kart lengths between he and second place Axel Matas. Matas just getting bumped up from S5 very recently. We think within the last 2 or 3 weeks he got the heads up from SKUSA to go. And Garrett Boone and Ryan Kinnear racing hard for third right now. Boone in the Burrell holds the spot, but Ryan Kinnear closes right up on his bumper on the exit of 1, as we've got a 4-kart breakaway right now for the lead. And in 5th, trying to get in on that action, is Connor Wagner in the 15T.
Rough start for sure for Colton Griffin. He ends up 34th. It'll be his drop race for sure. He'll have to come back strong here tomorrow to try to get a good racing before heading to the Summer Nationals. Alan Michelle out as well, as was Ben Schermerhorn. Rough weekend for the driver who celebrated his birthday yesterday as he finds himself on the outside of the racetrack in turn number 3. So 3 drivers already out of the race. Lurch, though, leads ahead of Matos, Boone, and Kinnear as the leaders again by the stripe here. Connor Wagner in the 15 trying to reel them back in to see if he can't be part of this fight. I said to keep an eye out for Christian Sherman. He turned some good laps, but looks like he's mired back there in 24th position right now. Sherman trying to work his way forward. Mianna Wick into pit lane in the number 246. Hasn't been an exciting day for Mianna Wick either. She's obviously had a rough one and parks the CRG and will just refocus, reorganize, and get back on track tomorrow. ...15 laps rather, still to go, a long way to go. Lurch resets fast lap, 49.100 for Lurch. Axel Mattes into second spot, as we said, to the number 7M. Trying to hold that position. Drivers on the move. Colton Aldridge having a good run as well. He's already up into the 12th position. Micah Hendricks runs 13th. Sky Finley in 14th. And Orozco in the number 2 into 15th now. Sherman now into 22nd. Going to put the power down and get his way forward. Troy Dede's now worked his way back up into 6th spot. There's another driver coming to a halt. Burrell driver midway through the field. The 61 of Alan Hewitt now out of the race. So looks like we've got 6 drivers now out of the race. 6 drivers have parked it. Lurch leading by about a half a second over Mattes, who in turn has about a second ahead of Ryan Kinnear in the number 3T, Garrett Boone, and Connor Wagner. So a bunch of drivers actually out of the Texas Pro Kart Challenge here. Mattes, Kinnear, Boone, Wagner all running in that Texas Pro Kart Challenge, and they're now 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Miguel Lopez as well, another Texas driver, in the 9th spot. Lurch, though, resets fast time again, 49.010. Lurch now stretching away a little bit. 0.7 of a second the advantage.
The group I was watching a little bit earlier, that 4-kart breakaway for the lead. Lurch, Mattes, Kinnear. That group is kind of spread out now. Definitely Augie Lurch has. Spread out is an understatement. Augie Lurch walking away from second place Axel Mattes, and once again, it's probably because he's the fastest driver on the track. Lurch goes purple with a 49.010. Axel Mattes runs second, then it's Garrett Boone and Ryan Kinnear. Kinnear on the back bumper of Boone as they head out of 11 into the right-handed turn 12. Mattes in between the race for third and the leader. As right now, our closest battle on the track is for third, and that is both the Texas drivers of Garrett Boone and Ryan Kinnear. Kinnear all over the back bumper of Boone as they head into 4 and head for the right-handed turn number 5 here. This is S2 main event racing. Of course, coming up next, we got Tag Masters, once deemed the greatest show on asphalt, as Augie Lurch continues to lead here in Tag Masters. I'm sorry, S2.
You got yourself all discombobulated there. Happens to be sometimes, too. It's all right, Tony. You can get backwards. Just apologize. Nobody cares. Again, Augie Lurch in the number 12 continues to set the pace. Be a big win for Augie if he can put the pure karting Tony Kart number 12 on the top of the box here today. 49.164, your leader, Axel Matas. As Tony said, just decided to make the jump to S2 maybe a couple weeks ago, and Superkarts USA leader Tom Kutcher said, you know what, Axel, you've done really well on S5, and yeah, I'll grant you the license, away you go. So he steps up and looks very good moving into this S2 category. Driver off here in the front straightaway. I believe Mariana Ramirez in the Leading Edge Motorsports car off on the front straightaway here. Ramirez was running in the top 20. So that's going to move everybody up in the order. Augie Lurch has that open track in front of him. It's such an important deal to be able to stretch away as it is. Axel Matas in the number 17, dropping the wheel. He'll go back a spot, but he is really batting it up here right now, trying to get that position back. There's a good move further back as well. We got a good fight here for second, third, and fourth. Ryan Kinnear in the 3T able to get by. Garrett Boone takes over second in the 100. Kinnear then goes by Matas. He'll go back a spot. Lurch is just loving the fact that they are battling behind him. He says, have at it, boys. You guys can fight as much as you like. I got a 2.5 second advantage, and I'm trying to win my first ever SKUSA Pro Tour race. Biggest win thus far for him, the Streets of Lancaster Grand Prix. This would be a huge one, though, for Augie Lurch. Another driver who's dropping in the order is going to be out of this race. Connor Wagner in the number 15T, the Texan running for Phil Giebler Racing. He pulls off right here in the exit turn number 5. It's walking to the pole in the middle of the racetrack. Man, that's a bad one there for Connor Wagner. He was an easy top 5 runner, and he finds himself on the sidelines here today, focusing on getting back at it next week, or rather tomorrow. Christian Sherman just turned fast lap of the race, 48.824. Sherman coming in the CRG for CRG USA. The 17D of Sherman now up into 15th. Remember, he started back in 28th position. It was a slow start for him, but that car is starting to come in now with 7 laps remaining. The CRG rolling. He's right behind Sky Finley. Not too far behind Jack Bradley or Orozco or Hendricks either. I'm going to keep an eye out for Sherman, see if a top 10's in the possibility here. Couple drivers together over in turn 1. Curtis Paul Jr. and Troy Deedy together. I think that's Deedy who goes around. Man, rough luck for Troy Deedy. They're going to try to get that car off the racetrack, out of the way. He loops it around in turn number 1. So Troy Deedy's going to fall down the order. That's going to give another one to Sherman. He's already moving up the order. Could be a top 10 run here for Christian Sherman, which could be important because there's a driver you probably would have expected with the opportunity to run for the championship. He knows the racetrack at Grand Junction very well. He could go there with a decent opportunity. He could get himself forward. New driver into the second spot here now. Ryan Kinnear able to get by Garrett Boone. Boone able to get him back in the Burrell. So Kinnear goes to second, but Boone steals it right back. Lurch now leading by 4 seconds. Sherman up to 12th. He's trying to close in now on Jack Bradley. And the other driver, remember I said to watch out for, the 22 of Chance Stevens. He started right alongside Colton Griffin. Griffin ended up on the sidelines on the opening lap. Stevens now into the top 10. A 9th place run right now for Chance Stevens in the 22. What a great drive. Certainly getting it done here right now. Four laps remaining. Augie Lurch trying to win this one here. Christian Sherman battling away with Jack Bradley right now, and he's actually by in turn number 1. So Sherman now into the 11th spot. 2.5 seconds behind Micah Hendricks for a shot in the top 10. Can't see that happening right now. Last time by, Sherman a 49 point. Well, you know what? 49.034 for Sherman, 49.807 for Bradley. Sherman is the fastest driver on the racetrack right now by far. He's 2 to 3 tenths of a second quicker than anybody on the track right now. New driver in a second. Kinnear goes back by Boone. Can he hold on to it this time? Boone was thinking about going down the inside of turn 2. What a great fight here for second and third. Boone back to the inside. Book it. But can he hold the spot? They're side by side coming to 5. No, he can't do it. Crisscross inside and out goes Kinnear. Driver to watch right now, though, is Sherman. He is flying. Sherman, a half a second quicker than Hendricks. Back by 2.2 with 3 to go. Sherman's got a chance at the top 10. Boone goes back by. Kinnear to take over second. This is the fight for the last 2 positions on the podium. Kinnear deep under the brakes onto Boone, who drives to the inside. Sherman continues to put the power down with 2 laps remaining. Fast lap of the race for Christian Sherman, 48.752. He is closing. Sherman back by just 1.3 seconds. He was a full second quicker. He could do this right now if Sherman could keep it on the racetrack. He's trying to close up. That'll be for a top 10 position to get by Micah Hendricks. Lurch down the back straightaway. He'll see the white flag this time by. It's a 5.2 second advantage already. Boone trying to hold back. A charging Ryan Kinnear. All 3 drivers from the Texas Pro Kart Challenge Series. Sherman trying to close up still on Hendricks. Maybe 5 or 6 lengths. Maybe a little more than that. Maybe 8. But we'll see what happens here in the final circuit. He's about 8 tenths of a second. Look at Sherman backing it into turn number 1, pushing hard. There's Dede going at it too. He'll get another spot. Dede able to get by, I want to say, Chance Stevens. That's the battle there. Boone still holding back Kinnear for second. Sherman has closed it up on him too. Here comes your leader. Sherman only 2 lengths behind Hendricks. He may go for 10th. Here comes your winner, though, his 4th Pro Tour victory. Augie Lurch, winner in S2. Boone able to hold him off. Kinnear dives in, goes too deep. Boone second, Kinnear third. Mata's 4th, Lopez 5th. 6th spot goes to Joshua Delogier. 7th to Curtis Paul Jr. 8th to Cody Dede. 9th to Chance Stevens. And a final lap. Turn 11 pass. Christian Sherman into the top 10. Sherman into the top 10 in S2. What an awesome drive there for Christian Sherman, working his way back up through the order. Started 28th, ends up in the 10th position, turning the fastest laps of any driver over the last 5 or 6 laps. I think Sherman is going to be one of the drivers to watch tomorrow. They have got a great hot rod going there. Christian Sherman, 10th place, but the victor today for pure karting on the Tony Kart, it is going to be Augie Lurch. His first Pro Tour victory, and we'll have a quick chat with him as soon as he gets through the scales here. Axel Matas in his debut in the S2 category, a fine 4th place finish, but what a battle between Ryan Kinnear and Garrett Boone. They were all over each other. Kinnear made a big shot at it at the end there. Not quite enough. Augie, get that helmet off and have a quick chat with me. Gloves are coming off slowly here for Augie Lurch. Augie, you couldn't have asked for a much better day. Everything worked good for you. You put on probably your best performance I've seen you ever do, other than maybe Lancaster when you were on fire. What a great weekend, bud. You just every lap you put him down. It was just a great run.
Yeah, kart worked good. Everything was working good, and we were able to put it up front.
Really, all you needed to know was you had to get the whole shot. If you got out in front, they weren't going to catch you. Can you make the car any faster?
Maybe a little.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Augie Lurch, folks, his first ever Pro Tour win. A great job for Augie. Great victory in S2. He's going to be your point leader right now heading into it, but a great run as well. We want to give it up for Garrett Boone in the number 100. Awesome run for Garrett. We'll have a quick chat with him when he gets off here as well. Garrett in the 3G Kart Racing Burrell. Garrett, don't worry. You can get your team guy to get Big Dave Pauly to do that. Well, there you go, Dave. Get yourself dirty. I love it. Garrett, come on over here, buddy. Dude, congratulations. That was a really awesome battle between you and Kinnear, and of course Axel was in there as well. But at the very end, you guys threw all you guys were throwing it at each other. He tried to get you to the last corner. You dove back inside. That looked like it was a lot of fun.
It was a blast, and that's what you do it for. And Kinnear ran a great race, and it was great, clean racing.
Maybe more of that tomorrow, you think? Can you get yourself any faster?
I think so, yeah. I think there's plenty more on the kart. Kart ran great, but we got to catch Augie, so we'll throw everything we can at it.
Congrats on a great run.
Thanks.
Garrett Boone, folks, a great job in the number 100, the 3G Kart Racing Burrell. He takes second spot. Ryan Kinnear in third. A fantastic run there, folks, in the S2 category. We got so much more to come. 6 more races still to go. Stick with us, all live here on ekartingnews.com.
Today's live audio coverage of the SKUSA Spring Nationals is brought to you by Champion Racing, the Rollison, Courtney Concepts, SRS Engines,
Back for more live coverage of the 2013 Spring Nationals here from Tucson, Arizona. We are set to go with our third of 8 main events on the day. Tag Cadet, or rather Tag Junior and S2 already in the books. And now we're heading over to Tag Master. This class sponsored by Mike Manning Karting, and it's going to be a good one. Scott Falcone will start on pole in the number 2 alongside Billy Cleveland in the number 19. Brian McCaddy in the 93 will be P3 alongside Anthony Honeywell in the number 76. Row 3, Kevin Manning and Paul Bonilla. Row 4, Mirko Mazzoni and Chuck Graffar. Row 5, starting 9th and 10th, John Dixon and Jim Russell Jr. Row 6 has Paul Holbein alongside Mike Jones. Let's see if Jones can work his way back to the front of the field. Top 12 drivers look pretty strong here as we expect them to get right at it. Row 7, Ethan Wilson, former champion, starting in the 13th position, number 49, alongside him, multi-time Rotax winner Andy Seisman in the number 51. Row 8, Ron Hyde and Vache Tatakian, while Row 9 has Federico Aquini and Corey Mitchell. Row 10, Dave Kanicki and Jerry Henderson. Row 11, Chris Koster, Will Jadiker. Row number 12, starting 23rd and 24th, it's Gary Butler on the inside and Brent Lyman on the outside. Well, Tom Gerstner and Wade Eastwood occupy row 13. Row 14 will be Steve Weiner and Don Gilbo. We still don't believe that Kurt Fisher, I don't think he's back here yet after that rough incident he had in the opening heat race. We'll see if he's back. Don't think so. I think Fisher could still be on the sidelines at this point. So Tag Masters set to go. Working their way down the back straightaway. Falcone's got them down to a crawl. They'll get into their staging lanes coming onto the start finish line. Yeah, everybody in position looking for green this time by. And we got it. Green, green, green. Brian McCaddy from P3 is having a look at the lead early on. Not quite enough. That's going to give Falcone the opportunity to pull away. But here comes quickly McCaddy to the inside in turn number 2. Falcone's going to try to crisscross him, but McCaddy getting aggressive early on. Can he hold him off? Falcone back to the inside. McCaddy tries to hold him to the outside. Here comes McCaddy again back into turn 5, doesn't do it. Crisscrossing. Here comes Cleveland, though, into the rear bumper as he tries to keep the speed going. When you crisscross like that, when you do a dive bomb, you got to expect to get bumped in the rear coming through because everybody else is rolling corner speed and you're stacking them up. And that's exactly what happened. Cleveland had a little run of steam. Just decided to get into the rear bumper, McCaddy a little bit, and Brian knew it was coming. He said, let's go racing. This time though, through turn number 11, Cleveland takes over second. So it's Falcone leading, Cleveland into second, McCaddy third, Manning in fourth, Honeywell fifth, Bonilla sixth, Mazzoni 7th, Graffar, Dixon, and Holbein, the lap 1 top 10. Mike Jones already in the 12th spot. Remember, that's the driver we said to watch out for. Jones qualified on the pole but had trouble in the opening heat race. Had to come from the tail of the field back up into 16th. He's going to try to attack now to see how close he can get to the front of the pack. Falcone fastest lap, of course, at 54.240. Everybody's lining up behind him. McCaddy able to get back by Cleveland and Kevin Manning in the number 23 VME follows him through. They're all getting themselves into position here. McCaddy trying to pull away from those, see if he can't chase down Falcone, who resets fast time, 51.919. Driver out already. It's the number 14C of Will Jadiker, and then I believe the number 612 here at Corey Mitchell out as well. So 2 drivers out of the race. Brent Lyman, Steve Weiner, and Kurt Fisher, no starters here. So Jadiker and Mitchell, I believe, already out of the race. We are continuing, though, out front with a good battle between Falcone, McCaddy, Manning, Cleveland, and Honeywell. McCaddy's been able to stretch away. Manning now holds third. That's where the battle is. Manning in third, Cleveland fourth, and Honeywell fifth. And then Paul Bonilla right on the rear bumper of John Dixon. Dixon 6th, Bonilla 7th, and Chuck Grafar right there. Falcone, 51.603, and another driver slowing here. The 49 of Ethan Wilson. Trouble for Ethan. They're not quite sure what it is. Today did not go good for Ethan Wilson. Ron Hyde in the 45-hour ITAL kart looks like he's out as well. So a little bit of attrition at the start of our Tag Master race. Now down to about 22 drivers remaining at speed. Good fight here behind the top three. Cleveland's been able to go back to third. Manning fourth. Honeywell fifth, but here comes Bonilla. Paul Bonilla, national number 1 on the side of the car. Bonilla trying to get around Honeywell. I would probably say if you took all these drivers here and figured out who was the most rounded driver, at least the most experienced all around, you'd probably have to say it was Honeywell. Here's a guy that can go to any kind of an IKF kart or whatever WK road race and win championships, win big races in his laydown 100cc control. He can win races in the sit-up 100cc. The guy does a ton of racing, road racing, and Honeywell can get it done here on the sprint track as well. Came over to join us last year. It's been a great addition to the program here in Tag Master because this guy can flat out wheel it. Just getting used to getting driving. We've been seeing him in the top 10 a lot right now. Having a good run here right now. He is in, I believe, the 6th position. Mike Jones, though, as we said, he's coming. We knew it. Jones now to 7th. There's the pass for 4th as well. Bonilla finally able to get by Manning. Here comes Jones to go by Honeywell for 6th spot. He'll go to the inside. Book it. He's through. But here comes Honeywell back. Les Dixon coming back. Oh, these guys are really going at it in Tag Master. Man, they are all over. Ethan Wilson now off the racetrack in the number 49. He had some kind of a mechanical issue. Long way to go in this race, folks. 5 down, 15 remaining. Falcone trying to pull away because he knows who's coming. Falcone with a pretty decent advantage right now. But the driver's on the move. Paul Bonilla in the number 1. And Mike Jones in the 504. Jones is going to go by Manning. That's going to be for 5th position. And in the very same lap, Bonilla able to go by Cleveland for 3rd. So those are the 2 drivers on the move right now. Paul Bonilla in the national number 1. Your reigning champion in the category. And the brand new driver, new to Tag Master. Definitely not new to the sport, folks, however. Out of Dallas, Texas. Mike Jones into the top 5. Awesome battle here right now for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. McCaddy doing what he can to hold back Paul Bonilla and Bill Cleveland. Bonilla now by McCaddy, and Cleveland's going to go with him. So McCaddy's going to go back into 4th position. As we said, folks, great battle so far. Falcone leads, Bonilla 2nd, McCaddy 3rd, Cleveland 4th, Jones 5th. That was last time by. Now it's Bonilla into 2nd, Cleveland to 3rd.
Great race going on right now in Tag Masters, and what can you say about the run Scott Falcone is having right now? Falcone checking out on the rest of this Tag Master field. He and McCaddy had a great race there at the start, but Scott Falcone walking away right now. Paul Bonilla bringing the 19C CRG of Billy Cleveland with him as he got around Brian McCaddy just a lap ago. There on turn 4 on the far side of the racetrack. As we are working through our 20-lap Tag Master main event. 8 down, 12 to go. as Scott Falcone holds a major lead. Last time at the line, he was 3.2 seconds ahead of the national number 1, Paul Bonilla. Let's see what it is this time by. Falcone's come across. Here comes Bonilla. The gap still at about 3.1 seconds as your front 5 really have all spread out. And then 6th, 7th, and so on back are pretty evenly spaced as well. Mike Jones, got to say something about that driver. Good run for him. The S4 racer converted to the single-speed tag karts. Jones out of the DKC having a great run so far. Put it on pole after qualifying, and then had a crazy mishap in the first heat race that led to him not making the start, I believe, or at least to the back of the grid after our red flag at the start of the heat race. So either way, Mike Jones having a good run right now. He and John Dixon round out your top 5, and then it's Chuck Gaffar. Mr. Gaffar running 6th, Kevin Manning, Mirko Mazzoni, our 7th and 8th, Anthony Honeywell 9th, and then it's Jim Russell Jr. on the Parolin, rounding out your top 10. But it is the Scott Falcone show right now here in round 1 of the Tag Masters Pro Tour. Scott Falcone walking away from him right now. Ten up, 10 down, halfway through this main event now, as we have 10 laps to go on the board. Coming up after this, it is our Stock Honda Junior race. That has been an awesome set of races so far today. S5 going to be a great race today and as well the rest of the weekend. Your National 1, 2, and 3 drivers in that class from last year are up front again this weekend, so keep an eye on S5. That is coming up next. Paul Bonilla on track now. He wants to start cutting into Scott Falcone's lead. Bonilla gets down into the 52nd bracket, going 50.946. Falcone's best time of 51.331. Actually, Falcone's best time of 51.264. But Bonilla starting to chop some wood here halfway through this Tag Master main event. Billy Cleveland, Mike Jones, and Mirko Mazzoni continue to hold strong in your top 5. But Paul Bonilla is the driver we got our eye on at the moment. He will have to lay down fast lap after fast lap if he plans on catching up to the back bumper of that Arrow, Scott Falcone. And while Scott does have some top-notch equipment, the reason Mr. Falcone is so fast, in my opinion, is because this guy is the biggest believer and is the strongest testifier to seat time. Scott will put in more laps before the month of April than some drivers will get in all season. And considering that he comes from Colorado, where we're snowed in 4 months out of the year, it is pretty impressive. Scott travels around the country, competes in all kinds of series, Gators, Challenge of the America, Winter Tour, all that good stuff. And it allows him to get many, many laps in. So when it comes time for big events such as this, the Spring Nationals and the Summer Nationals, which will be back in his home state of Colorado, he is well suited and ready to go and comfortable in that Arrow of his. And it is clearly paying off right now as he is putting on a clinic here in Tag Masters. Falcone continues to lead, and it's Paul Bonilla, Billy Cleveland, Mike Jones, and Mirko Mazzoni rounding out your top 5. John Dixon, Anthony Honeywell gets around Chuck Gaffar for 7th. Gaffar back to 8th. Jim Russell Jr. into the top 10, running 9th. And then on the Fernando Alonso card out of Phil Giebler Racing, the 77X of Vitachi Tatakian rounds out your top 10. And just outside the top 10, he doesn't give himself enough credit. Everyone's favorite bald guy, Mr. Andy Seisman, currently running just outside the top 10 in 11th. And it's Paul Holbein in 12th, Jerry Henderson 13th, Chris Koster, Gary Butler, and Wade Eastwood round out your top 16, it looks like here. Paul Bonilla is cutting a noticeable gap into Falcone's lead as he goes purple again, this time by fastest lap of the session with a 50.944. So the gap is visibly getting smaller, but it is still such a large distance between the two. With 5 to go next time by, I don't know if Bonilla has enough time to catch Falcone. He is going to need to have Falcone have some kind of issue or mechanical if he wants to catch up. Scott is just looking too good thanks to a strong start right now. even though Bonilla is your fastest driver on the track by quite a bit, nearly half a second quicker than your leader, Scott Falcone. So Scott and Paul continue to lead up front here. Your front two with a decent gap between the two of themselves, and then an even larger gap back to third, fourth, and fifth, where we see a good race going on right now as they head down the back straightaway. Billy Cleveland falling subject to the Sodi cart of Mike Jones. Jones now into P3 as Paul Bonilla continues to get quicker, goes purple once again with a 50.908. Bonilla is turning up the heat right now, doing everything he can, selling out, trying to catch up to Scott Falcone. Mike Jones moves up and earns himself a spot on the podium if the race were to end right now. As Billy Cleveland has also fallen back to fifth now, I believe. Mirko Mazzoni up there in the hunt as well, racing in this top five. Mazzoni rounds out your top five currently on the monitor. Cleveland seems to be behind him, is what I saw when they came by us. Bonilla settles down back into the 51s now, a 51 flat. Here we go, your scoring monitor will adjust. Mike Jones, Mirko Mazzoni, and Billy Cleveland. I was correct. Cleveland fell victim to Mazzoni and lost quite a bit of ground, about a 3-cart length gap from Mirko back to Billy Cleveland. But Mike Jones looking strong right now. The stock Honda convert comes over from banging gears, gets into the single-speed tag cart, and puts it on pole in his first Pro Tour event in the Tag Master class, and is running with a provisional podium spot right now, as these drivers are going to see 2 laps to go next time by. This is Tag Master main event round 1 at the SKUSA Spring Nationals here at Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson, Arizona. Falcone gets 2 laps to go, and again, that gap is getting significantly smaller, 0.8 of a second, and that's all thanks to Paul Bonilla chopping wood and going purple after purple, lap after lap. But I just don't know. He's cut it down to 0.8 of a second. I just don't know if he has enough time with a lap and a half left to get around Falcone. We're going to see here. Falcone, a smart driver, not spending too much time looking over his shoulder. He knows that won't do him any good. He's just going to focus in on his lap and do the best he can here. Scott Falcone leads Paul Bonilla. Then as Mirko Mazzoni has gotten around Mike Jones into P3. I didn't see that happen. So Mike Jones falls back to 4th, and Billy Cleveland rounds out your top 5 here. Looking for Falcone. Here they come. Out of the last 2 corners, down the front straightaway. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Scott Falcone gets down in the seat, trying to get as low as he can, as little air resistance as possible. In Tag Masters, that's kind of like an oxymoron. The gap now 0.7 of a second back to Bonilla, but with a half a lap to go, I still don't think Bonilla is going to have enough time. 1 more lap, maybe even 2, Bonilla would be there. But catching him's one thing, passing him's another. And I don't even think he's going to be able to catch Falcone, as they have about 5 corners left to go here. Scott Falcone's going to lead down the back straightaway, Paul Bonilla. And then Mirko Mazzoni sits in your final podium spot, as it is at the moment. Coming down the back straightaway here, he's got 2 corners left to negotiate. And if he does, he will pick up the first Pro Tour win of the year, and he will. Your winner in Tag Masters, number 2, Scott Falcone, picks up the win with your national number 1, laying down his fastest lap of the race, 50.778. Don't tell me Paul Bonilla's not digging. Bonilla comes home 2nd. Mirko Mazzoni comes home 4th. Mike Jones 4th. Mazzoni 3rd. I apologize. Billy Cleveland holds on to a top 5. Jim Russell Jr. on the Paralympic comes home 6th. John Dixon, Vitachi Tatakian, Andy Seisman gets into the top 10 with a 9th place finish, and Paul Halblein rounds out your top 10 with Anthony Honeywell coming home 11th. So Scott Falcone holds off a hard charging Paul Bonilla for the win here in Tag Masters round 1 for the Masters done here. As we got some drag racing coming to the line. Carts get together. That's the 93 of Chris Koster and Wade Eastwood going door to door and making contact. They slid across the start-finish line. There's skid marks there to prove it. And I don't know who got the spot. Wade Eastwood did. And he holds off a sliding Chris Koster, whose cart is now 2 rows deep into the tire barriers. So Tag Masters ends with a bang. Scott Falcone holds off Paul Bonilla. And you are listening to live coverage of the Spring Nationals here on ekartingnews.com. We're going to hand it back over to Mr. Rob Howden.
You know, that was one of those deals where Paul Bonilla just kept digging. Was seeing what he could do to see if there was any possibility that he was going to be able to reel in Scott Falcone, who had done a solid job in stretching that lead throughout the entire 20-lap distance. Bonilla probably needed it to be 25. It was not, however. 20 laps was enough for Scott Falcone to score that victory, get his season off on the right foot here. Falcone's across the scales. You get the helmet off, and we'll have a quick chat with today's winner in the Tag Master category. Scotty, they were coming. Bonilla was coming on strong. Give me the handshake first. You saw him and you felt him. I bet you did. Hey, congratulations nonetheless. A lot of work, a lot of racing this winter to be prepped for this race. Obviously, Florida Winter Tour, you name it. Man, congratulations. You got to feel good.
Thank you very much. We got some work to do for tomorrow, obviously. Paul's hooked up and going pretty good. I want to thank Eric Jones and Kart Sport North America, Aero, and Victor as well, and my family, my wife and kids. That's some work. I got a lot more work to do, obviously. I'm trying to get more consistent, and we'll see what we got for tomorrow.
Congratulations. Well done, though. Scott Falcone says he's got some work to do because I'll tell you, there are some fast guys in this class right now. Billy Cleveland's quick. We know how quick Bonilla is right now. Mike Jones has got the handle working, too. He's going to be back tomorrow with a vengeance. Sir, this Tag Master category is unbelievably tight. But today, they all had to try to chase down Scott Falcone. He is your winner in the first round of the Spring Nationals in Tag Master. All right, folks, welcome back. Our live coverage continuing here. Sun's starting to work its way to the horizon here in Tucson, but still really, really nice outside at this point. Getting ready to go right now is our S5 Junior Stock Moto drivers. It will be Carter Williams in the number 3, starting on the pole position alongside Jared Campbell in the number 103. Patricia O'Ward and Jim McKinney, first and second last year in points, will occupy row number 2. O'Ward on the inside, McKinney on the outside. Row 3, Derek Scott Jr. alongside Jacob Loomis, while row 4 has Raul Guzman in the number 7 and Nathan Adds in the number 18. Row number 5, Garrett Dixon in the number 94Y, and on the outside it will be Jesse Woodyard in the number 17. Andretti Young and Saundra Kirby will be on row number 6, while Max Neufer and Eric Nelson will fill up row number 7. To cap off the field, it'll be Evan Roshak and the number 888 of Hannah Grisham. 16 drivers set to go here for S5. They'll roll themselves onto the grid, and we will get ready to roll here. Final carts trying to get him into position. We look like we're ready to go. Eric Nelson, the 91H, one to watch from far back. He's got the speed. And they roll. We got a green light to get things underway in S5, and they race down into 1. So Carter Williams with the lead out of the box, and it's O'Ward jumping into second spot. Jared Campbell in third, Jim McKinney fourth, Nathan Adds in fifth. Top 5 to get things underway for this 20-lapper at S5. Carter Williams trying to use these early laps to try to stretch away a bit, but we do have a 4-driver breakaway. That's about all he's going to get. Williams, O'Ward, Campbell, and McKinney trying to pull away from Guzman. Oh, Eric Nelson already back to the tail of the field. Not sure what happened to Nelson there. Looks like something happened to the left. That's actually Hannah Grisham. I think he might be out already. Nelson in the number 91 out as well. Airbox, lost the airbox on the car. Tough one for Eric Nelson. He'll have to refire and come on back here tomorrow. Jim McKinney now with the quick lap. A 49.628 for McKinney as he tries to close back up on Jared Campbell. Raul Guzman in the number 7M wants a challenge here from 5th. Pulling away a little bit from Nathan Adds and Derek Scott Jr. Looks like Garrett Dixon on the track by himself, currently running in that 8th position. Going to see if he can't roll up here on Adds and Dixon battling for 6th. Guzman now in the 7M resets fast time, 49.443 for Guzman. He's actually closing in the lead group. We may see 5 drivers in the lead battle here. Guzman about 0.3 of a second quicker than McKinney and back by only a half second. This battle's going to continue. Carter Williams trying to keep that lead. Raul Guzman in the number 7. Man on the move right now, able to get by McKinney for 4th. Tell you, that GP is rolling right now for Guzman. 49.5 last time by. He was quicker than Carter Williams and quicker than O'Ward. Half a second faster than Patricio O'Ward. Guzman might be going to the front here. Guzman, who runs with that Miguel Lopez team, Lopez Racing, looking good. In fact, able to get by. I think he's by O'Ward. Guzman now into 3rd. I'll tell you, Guzman is flying right now in the number 7M. He's really stepped it up here in the main event. Into 3rd place and trying to close. Here comes McKinney to go by O'Ward as well. So Jim McKinney in the number 1 KGB able to get by O'Ward in the number 2. Carter Williams now with the fastest lap. Williams, Campbell, Guzman, McKinney, and O'Ward. That's your fast 5 right now. Derek Scott Jr. runs in 6th spot. Nathan Adds in 7th. Garrett Dixon 8th. Andretti Young 9th. And Sandra Kirby capping off your top 10. Long way to go still. Only 7 laps in the books this time by. Guzman a little bit off those pace being set by the leaders. 49.4 for Williams, 49.5 for Campbell, 49.6 for Guzman. About a 1/10 of a second. Just keep losing that 1/10. So Williams leads it here. Campbell 2nd, Guzman now in 3rd.
S5 main event on the track right now, and it is a good one. Carter Williams, who's been strong all day, pulling double duty, the young driver in Stock Honda Jr., as well as Tag Jr., and that FA kart looking good right now. Williams hold on to P1. Patricia O'Ward, who lost his 3rd spot to Raul Guzman, goes purple this time by. Patricia O'Ward, fastest driver on the track with a 49.407. And then it's Guzman in 3rd. Jared Campbell holds strong in 2nd. And your leader is, of course, the number 3 FA kart of Mr. Carter Williams. Good class here in Stock Honda Jr. I've always said this. This is one of my favorite classes. For the 3 years I've been a part of the Pro Tour and gotten to work this series, I've always loved getting to CS5 and Stock Honda Jr. This is a great class. It was really the first stepping stone in the ladder system that is SKUSA Shifter Kart Stock Honda Racing. It provides these young drivers a place to come and find out what shifting and driving a shifter kart is all about. They, of course, then from there move up into S2 or S3 if their local regional series provides that class. From S2, of course, they see if they can handle it and go to S1 if good enough. So S5, one of my favorite classes. These young kids are some of the best drivers we have out here this weekend, and you can be sure enough they'll be in S2 in a few years when they're of age. And definitely several of these drivers in a few more years will be S1 representing shifter kart racing in North America. Carter Williams throwing his name into that hat with a strong run here again after coming off a 3rd place points finish in last year's Pro Tour. Carter leading right now here at the opening round of the Pro Tour in 2013. Williams looking good. And then Jared Campbell, we got a race. Guzman trying to hold off O'Ward, but O'Ward gets the spot at the line, so O'Ward now back into P3. Your national number 2 back onto the podium as it stands at the moment, but Guzman's still there. Guzman's gotten back around him. Now O'Ward tries it again in 4, and he gets around Guzman. Award back to P3, and he brings Jim McKinney with him. So it's a 3-kart swing in 2 corners. McKinney and Award, or I should say Award and McKinney, get around Guzman. So Guzman, who started off with not the best starts, moved his way up, caught up to that 4-kart pack, which was, of course, Williams, Campbell, Award, and McKinney. Laid down fast lap after fast lap, and Guzman then broke into the middle of that 4-kart pack, broke it up, said, hey, I'm here. Let's party. But now Award and McKinney have caught back up to him, and Guzman now sits holding on to your 5th position on the track. So up front it is that original front 4 from the beginning of the race, and pretty much who we've seen and talked about all day so far today. Carter Williams, your leader. Jared Campbell, 2nd. Patricia Award, 3rd, and Jim McKinney, 4th. This stock Honda Junior main event, it is a good one. So Carter Williams doing his best now to maintain the lead, but Jared Campbell is cutting into it. The lead now down to 0.7 of a second. And then Award has got Jim McKinney, last year's national #1, on his hands, and now he's got him in his sights because McKinney just took the spot away from Award into 3rd place. Last year's national champion in S5, Jim McKinney on the KGB. But Award closes right back up on him in turn 4. Jim McKinney, great move, tracked Award all the way down the front straightaway, pulled up alongside and just passed him right down in the braking zone into turn number 1. So just past halfway here in the stock Honda Junior main event. Carter Williams looking good. Jared Campbell looking strong, doing what he can to catch up to the leader. So 7 laps to go as they come by. 6 to go next time. As Jared Campbell is slowly cutting into that gap of Carter Williams. 7.8 seconds was the difference. Last time by, Patricia Award and Jim McKinney. Award seems to have gotten back around McKinney according to my scoring monitor, looking for him out on the track. He is Award in front of McKinney once again. So these two, your national #2 and national #1 plates going at it here in the opening round. Starting up just where they left off a year ago in Las Vegas. 6 laps to go this time by as Carter Williams comes underneath the flag stand. Jared Campbell turning up the wick a little bit, goes 49.332. Your fastest driver on the track, Jared Campbell, doing what he can. He cuts that gap from 0.7 of a second down to 6 as he closes in on the 3 of Carter Williams. This is a manageable gap. I believe the driver in 2nd place has enough time to make a move if he can catch up to Williams. 5 laps to go next time by under the arch. So Carter Williams looking good right now in that FA kart. Patricia Award and Jim McKinney still going at it. Guzman holding strong in 5th. That driver had a real great run in the very first opening few laps. Got up in there, broke up that opening 4. And Jared Campbell goes purple again, doing everything he can. Now the gap from leader to 2nd goes to 0.5 of a second, just over a half second here. It is getting close right now.
Gotta love a young kid like Jared Campbell here. Tony really going at it. He knows he wants to get in the lead here. He knows that Williams is out in front of him quite a bit. But he starts putting down good lap after good lap. Like I said, going purple. That means, folks, on our timing system, he's #1. He's turning the fastest lap of the race. Not a personal lap, fast lap of the race. 49.326. Campbell just kind of chipping into it here right now, getting himself closer and closer. Pretty solid run here. Just good to see it, though. Carter Williams is your leader, but now down to, 0.3 of a second as Campbell does it again, Tony. He's coming. Look at this. Maybe a length and a half.
Jared Campbell all over the back bumper of Carter Williams. Here we go. 3 laps to go next time by, and this is the race for the lead, which will be the race for the main event win here. This is how these stock Honda Juniors are going to kick off their 2013 Pro Tour. It all goes on right now. Carter Williams has got to know Jared Campbell's back there. Carter hasn't been looking over his shoulder too much, but you got to know he's thinking about it, and he can hear Jared Campbell behind him. Campbell, again, goes quickest on the track so far with a time of 49.250. That difference between the two is now down to 0.2 of a second. 3 laps to go, and Jared Campbell is chopping wood out here right now. Meanwhile, the race with Jim McKinney and Patricia O'Ward seems to have calmed down for the moment. McKinney now back in front of O'Ward, so your national number 1 plate. No, he is back behind O'Ward again. Every time I look at the monitor, one of them's in one position, and on the track, they're in opposite. So O'Ward and McKinney are going to go at it probably to the scale line. Got a good little battle here. It's Evan Roshak in the 58, I can see. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, a good race right there. Evan Roshak, Jesse Woodyard, Max Neufer, Sandra Kirby, Hannah Grisham, all having a good race at the back of the pack. Every position counts, folks, and these points will matter at the end of the year in Vegas when we're looking at championships. And as they come by to get 2 laps to go, Jared Campbell, fastest lap time on the track once again, 49.173 for the intrepid driver, doing everything he can. The difference last time by was 0.2 of a second. It's 2.0 right now. 0.20, I apologize, 0.20. Still 0.2 of a second between these front 2 drivers. Jared Campbell is pushing like mad to get to the back bumper of that FA kart that Carter Williams is piloting right now as they come down the back straightaway. 2 corners left, and the white flag will be in the air. 1 lap to go here in the S5 main event. Carter Williams, your leader. Jared Campbell in second. The race for third continues. McKinney on the inside of O'Ward. McKinney gets the spot. McKinney in third as they come down to see the white flag. But O'Ward shoving him down the front straightaway. O'Ward's going to try and look at it in 1. No, he stays behind McKinney up front. We've got as just as good of a battle for first as we do for third. You got to pick which one you want to watch. And right now the battle for the lead is Carter Williams, who went purple last time by, meaning he is the fastest driver on the track. For the first time, it's not Jared Campbell. It is your leader, 49.172. Williams with a half a lap to go.
Williams really stepping it up. You're exactly right. Coming down the back straightaway. You call it, Tony. Call him with the win here. Carter Williams coming through.
Carter Williams trying to hold off as they go down into the back straightaway. Jared Campbell tries to pull up alongside, and he doesn't do it. Carter Williams picks up the win out of turn 12. Jared Campbell comes home second. Guzman is going to get third because McKinney makes contact. I'm looking for O'Ward. I can't find him. O'Ward hasn't come across the line yet. I look up, and Guzman was in third.
Contact on the racetrack right now. They're saying, Tony, we're getting calls in from some of the corner workers. Possible contact on the racetrack. So a tough one there for Patricia O'Ward as he ends up going down the order here. Carter Williams will take the victory in the number 3. It'll be the 103 of Jared Campbell in second. Raul Guzman's going to end up in third. Tony, you head downstairs and grab Carter Williams. I'll give you the call. But Tony's going to head downstairs and chat with Carter Williams after a big victory here for Carter. As I said, Jared Campbell second, Raul Guzman in third. McKinney ends up in fourth. He was battling it out hardcore with O'Ward, who ends up in the 14th position. Fifth was Derek Scott Jr., 6th spot Nathan Adds, 7th Garrett Dixon. 8th ended up being Andretti Young, 9th Max Neufer, and to round out the top 10, it's Jesse Woodyard. Woodyard ends up with the top 10. Couple drivers coming in first. Guzman, the first driver across the scales. Then it'll be Jared Campbell, who immediately hops out of the car and heads back to give a high five to Carter Williams. A big victory for Carter there. National number 3 last year, but man, does he ever get this season off to a good start here with a victory on Saturday. He gets things rolling. So again, the drivers kind of working their way through here. We've got Tony Laporta waiting down at pitside to have a quick chat here with our winner. What a great run that was. Jared Campbell coming across as well, getting a little high five there. I'll tell you, just a fantastic drive all around for these young drivers in the S5 category. You know, we talk about how these drivers in S2 make the move up to S1. Well, so many of the young drivers we're seeing do good in S1 now are the pilots who really got things underway first in that S5 category. They were able to learn how to shift through the junior ranks and then able to make the step up. And he's across the scales, ladies and gentlemen. He is your winner today. Carter Williams is going to get a head on over here. We're going to send it down right now to Tony Laporta so he can talk to today's S5 winner.
All right, Rob, down here with our main event winner in S5, Carter Williams. Good run.
Thank you. Yeah, it was awesome.
You got to tell me, did you know Carter was back there behind you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jared Campbell. Did you know Jared? You were in front. Did you know Jared was behind you?
Yeah, I knew Jared was back there, and my dad kept giving me signals, you know, how far he was. At the end there, he got a little close. You know, I made a few mistakes. But in the end, though, I pushed it out and got it going.
All right, and tell me, what's the effect of running double duty this weekend? Not a lot of drivers are doing that. Is it hard, or is it helping you running 2 karts this weekend?
It's a little bit of both. You know, it's mentally it's a lot. You know, to do 2 cars, your body is really messed up after the day. You know, I'm feeling pretty tired right now, but again, you know, it helps me to get on the track twice because, you know I can find different spots, I can work on my line, I can do different things with it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Carter Williams, your S5 main event winner.
Welcome back, folks. We're getting set to go here now live with our Tag Senior main event. They are getting ready to roll and are on the racetrack in the formation lap here right now. Not sure if we're going green this time by or not. I don't believe that we are set to go, but at this point, as I said, ready to rock here with our senior drivers. No start this time here for Tag Senior. They do not get the green this time by. Let's have a look. It will be Jonathan May on the pole in the 197 alongside Mason Dodders in the 16. Matt Johnson in the number 412 will start alongside Jake Craig on row number 4. Row number 2, rather. Row 3 will be Louis Pagano and Nick Rivellini. Row 4, Travis Lowe alongside Andrew Zimmer. And to cap off your top 10, it'll be Bailey Murphy on the inside and Brandon Jones on the outside. Row number 6, Joel Jens alongside Mike Geeson, the 2 quickest non-Rotax drivers, the Leopard and the Moturi. And then it's Alejo Fernandez starting 13th alongside Austin Dement in 14th. Row 8, Jess Peterson and Phil DeLeo. Watch for DeLeo coming strong here in that number 1. Last year's champion wants to get back on the top of the podium. Row 9, Juan Jimenez in the 88 and Andrew Weiner in the number 15. While row number 10 has Andres Xabelos alongside Roberto Manducci. Row 11, Dakota Dickerson in the 380 and Tazio Otis in the number 72. While row 12 sees Scott Kopp start alongside Derek Dignan. Moving forward, it'll be Nick Martin in the number 25 starting 25th alongside Kendra Herbert, while it'll be Dallas Hollins and Matt England on row 14. Row 15, Wyatt Manis and Brandon Reed. Then it's Mason Chalutz and TJ Coyen. Behind them, Andre Nicastro and Austin Elliott getting set to go. Then further back, I don't believe we have any more starters. We are underway. Tag Senior racing into 1. Couple drivers backwards over in turn number 1. Tough way to start. They'll get refired. We're going to keep our eyes on drivers like Coyen and Chalutz and Austin Elliott trying to work their way back to the front here. Jonathan May gets the early lead. Pagano into second. Dodders goes to third. One of the Cosmic drivers around in turn number 1. I wonder if that was Jake Craig or not. We'll see as they come back around here. Matt Johnson now diving into third position. Johnson says, come on, let's go. Pagano now goes to the lead. Louis Pagano takes over the top spot in the barrel. May into second. We are underway here. Johnson in third. Matt Johnson is rolling right now in the energy. Johnson is right on the rear bumper of May, and he'll slide job him to the inside. May goes back on the inside to take him over in 6. Great job for May to go back on the inside. Good racing here in Tag Senior already. Down the back straightaway. Pagano trying to pull away. Andrew Zimmer in the Art Grand Prix entry. Number 73 now up into 4th position. Dodders runs in 5th. 6th is Brandon Jones. 7th, Bailey Murphy. 8th, Alejo Fernandez. 9th, Austin Dement. And 10th, Phil DeLeo. DeLeo already to 10th position. Front 4 drivers trying to work together here now. Pagano, May, Johnson, and Zimmer looking to pull away possibly. Looks like we got a new leader, Jonathan May, able to go back in front. Able to track down Pagano again, who was able to build a little bit of a gap. He falls down a little bit here. Zimmer starting to work his way forward. Andrew Zimmer was able to get by Johnson, and now he goes by Pagano. Zimmer in the Art Grand Prix America entry now goes to P2. Great scrap here in Tag Senior. Man, this is a tight group in the Tag Senior category. One driver off. Somebody off in the middle of the top 10. I want to say that was Bailey Murphy. Bailey Murphy off, gets sideways coming out, hangs the wheel on the exit. That car just shot straight across and off the racetrack. Murphy's trying to get himself back onto the track, and I just don't think it's going to happen right now. That thing is jammed in there. He's trying to get it back over to the track so he can get going again, but they're already coming around to meet him. I think he's being told by the race director to keep that car in pit lane. Sorry, bro, you're done. Bailey Murphy was having a good run there in the top 10. Another driver drops the wheel. He'll lose a couple spots. That was Brandon Jones. Jones goes wide, coming out of turn number 1, drops the right rear off, and left him as a sitting duck for 2 drivers to roll right on by him. Both Mason Dodders and Alejo Fernandez able to slide by. Andrew Zimmer now leading in the number 73 ahead of Pagano. Those 2 drivers trying to stretch away from Johnson, May, and Dodders now. Phil DeLeo up into the 8th position in the number 1. Another driver on a great run here. Mason Chalutz in the number 00 runs in 14th. Joel Jens in 12th. Remember, Chalutz coming from the tail of the field. Zimmer and Pagano seeing if they can't stretch away from Johnson, but he's got May and Fernandez right there to work with them, so not likely the case. Look at this lead group. Here comes Johnson going to the inside of Pagano. Oh, he's going to lose a ton. Yeah, you're going to lose space there. He tried to go to the inside of turn number 2, had trouble coming through, did not get the exit speed out of turn 3. It's a little right-left combination. You mess that up, you know you're going to lose, and he did. Jonathan May able to get back through. Johnson was starting to put some pressure on Pagano and was getting a little bit racy there, thinking about working his way through. Man, they are really fighting out further back as DeLeo's trying to come forward. Phil DeLeo now up into 6th position in the number 1. Slowly and methodically working his way forward, as is now Jake Craig in the number 60. He just turned the fast lap of the race of 49.7. Remember, Craig was the driver who was backwards in the middle of turn number 1 on the opening circuit. That doesn't help anybody. He's able to work his way back up to 20th right now, but turning times almost a second quicker than those around him. So Craig trying to fight his way back into the top 10. Remember, this is a championship chase that's all about trying to get as many points as possible heading to the Super Nationals. Top 3 drivers in the points after the Summer Nats, a guaranteed starting position on Super Sunday. Another driver off out of the top 10. 2 drivers off in turn 1. Couple drivers off in turn number 1. I want to say one of them's DeLeo. Indeed, I believe it was DeLeo, either DeLeo and Dement or DeLeo and Fernandez. Regardless, that will end a top 10 run for Phil DeLeo, your reigning champion. DeLeo going way back in the order now. Sounds like DeLeo trying to get to the inside of Fernandez, up and over top of him. Fernandez out of the race. DeLeo trying to recover. So now your new top 10 has Zimmer leading, Pagano second, Johnson in third. 4th is Jonathan May. 5th is Austin Dement. 6th, Mason Dodders. 7th, Brandon Jones. 8th, Andrew Weiner. 9th, Juan Jimenez. And 10th, Travis Lowe. Looks like we've pared this thing down to just 3 drivers with 9 laps remaining. Jonathan May not able to hang with this lead trio of Zimmer, Pagano, and Johnson. Little bit of experience in this lead group. These guys have driven so much stuff. Rotax, IKF, Stars of Karting, Superkarts USA Pro Tour, all on the resumes of these drivers. And now it's Pagano back to the lead. Louis Pagano takes the point again in the 3:55. Zimmer second. Interesting deal about Pagano this weekend here, all by himself. He's wrenching on that car by himself, and he and Zimmer are going at it. Zimmer back on the inside in turn 4. They are stacking it up. Now, remember I said that May was probably out of this, but if these guys start racing like they are right now with 8 laps remaining, Jonathan may be able to fight his way back into this deal. Might not be done yet. So May runs in the 4th position, 5th, 6th, and 7th together as well. That's Mason Daughters, Austin Dement, and Brandon Jones. A couple of Phil Giebler racing pilots, and then Brandon Jones, another guy here wrenching on his own stuff. Working with the Kart Sport North America team, but he is doing the wrenching duties as well. Zimmer in the 73, though. New team here this weekend. It'll be an amazing debut for him with Art Grand Prix America if he's able to score this victory. The Art GP team, a noted team in the GP2 and GP3 series over in Europe. And they have elected to start a karting operation to help feed those programs. They've also got a Formula Renault program, number of programs to bring drivers out of the karting ranks and up into open wheel racing. Got a couple of the Art Grand Prix drivers at the Super Nationals last year as well. This is going to be a great fight, though. These are 3 excellent drivers in this battle. Zimmer, Pagano, and Johnson. Drop the hammer with 6 to go. Laps winding down. Who is going to take this one? Zimmer trying to get a little bit of a gap, or is it just Pagano setting him up? Johnson. Not sure if he likes the spot in 3rd place right now. He may believe he needs to get into 2nd soon. 5 laps to go. You got to remember, you make that move to 2nd. Here comes Johnson. The 2nd right now to the inside. Book it. No, Pagano back on the inside to take the spot back. Johnson's got to get to 2nd because it always takes that extra lap to get back up to the leader. After you've made that move, you got to have another lap to be able to get yourself into the position on that leader. And in fact, this has allowed Zimmer to take about 4 or 5 lengths. This would be a huge victory for the new Art Grand Prix America team here at the Pro Tour in a stacked tag senior category. Zimmer, a new charge with the team, and they'll work their way down the straightaway. Johnson into 2nd this time. Pagano knows it. He's got to get him right back. Look at the room, though, that Zimmer has here. Great run as well for Jake Craig. He's got his way back to 12th position. Craig back to 12th here in Tag Senior. Johnson looking forward now, trying to get up there. Pagano's got to help him because he can't just battle for 2nd yet. You can do that in the last lap. Right now, Pagano's actually going to work with the driver who just passed him to see if they can't get back in the hunt for the win. Johnson slipping down in the seat, trying to get as aerodynamic as possible down the back chute. Gap last time by was 3.388. This time by the stripe, 0.282. They just gained a 10th back. 2 laps remaining next time by. Zimmer's gap slowly getting away as Johnson's on him in the energy. It's the RGP, an energy and a Burrell, 1, 2, 3, and a bunch of FA karts, 4, 5, 6. Matt Johnson was able to go into 2nd. As I said, he had to get that run to 2nd. He needed the time to be able to close back up. Look at him under the draft. He slides to the bottom of that cart. That thing goes super aero. He curls right up under the rear bumper of Zimmer. 2 laps remaining in Tag Senior. This is what we love to see on the Pro Tour. The best of the best battling it out on a great racetrack like the one here at Musselman. Johnson doing whatever he can, trying to signal to Pagano. Maybe they'll go together. I don't know. Zimmer. Oh, driver off here. 2 drivers together. Brandon Jones getting together with another driver. Jones wisely not jumping back on track. Zimmer's got a bit of a gap here right now. Pagano putting the pressure on Johnson, and he had some trouble. Look at this gap right now for Zimmer coming to the white flag. Once again, Johnson able to eat it up under the brakes. Onto the front straightaway. 1 to go. Here comes Johnson, this time up on the wheel. Maybe a half a length, right on the rear bumper coming out of 1. Last lap, and Tag Senior. Put down your tools and get out of the fence. Zimmer blocks to the bottom. He's going to definitely blow his drive coming out here. He doesn't have enough coming into 5. Johnson looks to the inside, not enough. Man, that was wild. I thought Zimmer was going to get in trouble there. They're going through the S's. It'll be one more shot down the straightaway. Zimmer's got some room. If you're on the ART GP team, you've got to have your fingers crossed. Down the back straightaway. It's not going to be enough coming in there. Here comes Pagano. He's going to go for second. That's going to give the win to Andrew Zimmer. Zimmer wins in his debut with ART Grand Prix. Pagano takes over second. Matt Johnson in third. Jonathan May fourth. Austin Dement in fifth. Travis Lowe up to 6th spot. Andrew Weiner takes 7th. Mason Chalutz 8th. Juan Jimenez and Mason Daughters round out the top 10. But what a drive for Andrew Zimmer. He put some great laps in there at the end of that one, having to hold off a really dedicated and aggressive attack by Matt Johnson. Louis Pagano, though, able to slip over at the end of the straightaway, said, you know what, if you can't get the job done for the win, I'm taking second. So it's Zimmer, Pagano, and Johnson on the podium. What a race in Tag Senior. We'll head down here now and have a quick chat with Andrew Zimmer. What a big victory for Andrew. Remember, a pretty serious leg injury just about a year and a bit ago. To see him stand on top of the podium here at the Pro Tour is going to be a special one. I expect his dad probably listening in back home as well. What a run there today for the ART Grand Prix team. They got to be pretty stoked here right now. Zimmer with a huge victory. Andrew, get that helmet off. Let's have a chat. The whole team coming over here to offer congratulations. All the ART Grand Prix America guys coming over. What a huge victory today. Get that helmet off, buddy. You got lots of guys here congratulating you. Andrew Zimmer, been through a lot in the last couple of years. A little injury to the leg. New team, huge win, Pro Tour. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
It's unbelievable. I was trying so hard to just stay in front, and we pulled it through this weekend. I can't thank Luke Vasquez enough for, if it wasn't even him, I wouldn't even be here racing. And I got to thank everybody at ART GP for helping me, and BRK Motors. If it wasn't for all of them, I wouldn't be here racing, nor would I have been up front.
Great race. Pagano obviously right in there. You guys had an awesome battle. You know, Matt Johnson, always a tough competitor, battling you. They tried you. They were there. They were trying to work on getting by you. But, man, your last couple laps were two of your best. You were able to stay out front.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking behind me a lot just to see where they're at, because I needed to know if I needed to be defensive or just go. And they were behind me the entire time. So all I tried to do was keep them behind me, and it worked, and we got first.
Andrew, congratulations, buddy. Big win here at the Pro Tour.
Thank you.
There he is, folks. Andrew Zimmer, a magic win for ART Grand Prix in Tag Senior. The main events just keep on coming here at the Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson, Arizona. Day one, our first round of races for the Pro Tour this year, and the first day of our Spring Nationals, first wheel-to-wheel competition day. And it's been great so far. Some amazing racing. Not to even forget about the race we just saw in Tag Senior. Just a great battle. We didn't get a chance to talk to Andrew Zimmer, but I talked to Matt Johnson as well, and he said, you know, it's just so tough out there. You have to be so selective of where you make the move, because if you make a move and it's not perfect and you don't get it, you're going back a spot. And he knew that the only way he could win it was if he was able to keep Louis behind him, and he had to make the right position. He tried a couple times, and it just wasn't meant to be on this occasion. But nonetheless, just a great drive by all three of those just stunningly talented drivers, Zimmer and Pagano and Johnson. Just a lot of fun to watch. Anyways, getting set to go here, folks, with our drivers in the S4 category. Jordan Musser on the pole position in the number 3. He has been the driver to beat all weekend long. But Curtis Cooksy's looked good as well. He will start in the second position in the number 41. Row number 2 will be Robert Marks in the 103 and Willie Musgrave in the number 422. Row 3, last year's champion Eddie Open alongside Rob Logan in the number 33. Row 4, Don McGregor in the 71 and Brian Fisher in the number 90. It'll be interesting to see what Fisher can do. He has worked his way back from a broken brake rotor mount. Let's see how far back he can go. He's back to 8th position in the last race, turned some amazing laps. Does he have what it takes right now to challenge for a podium or a race win? PP Master and Mike Smith going to be on row 5. Lance Lane and Greg Nelson on row 6. Chris Jennings and Jet Davis on row 7. Mike Potikin and Steve McCaffrey on row 8. Greg Bridle, Nick Firestone, row 9. Ken Schilling, Chris Foso, row number 10. Row 11, Jack Nelson and David Conyers. Row 12, Justin Peck and Ben Johnston. Row 13, Mike McDonough and Scott Clark. Row 14, Mike Sullivan and Mike Rhodes. Row 15, 29th and 30th, Daryl Tunnell and Victor Jimenez. Row 16, Todd Wilson and Trevor McAllister. Then it's Rob Van Dieren and Levi Bennett, and we'll wrap it all up with Joe Johnson. Field now set. S4, green, green, green. Not a good start for Curtis Cooksey. He's going to go back to probably 5th or 6th, and he's stuck on the outside and 1. Just wasn't able to get rocketing off the line. Cooksey's going to have some work to do. He's going to go back to about 6th. Musser, though, with the hole shot, he looked good. Underway in S4. Good start for Willie Musgrave. He jumps up into the second position. Everybody battling away for position now. Musser leads him through 11 and 12 for the first time. Musgrave into second. Trouble there for Marks. He gets all crossed up coming out of turn number 12, and that allows Open to slide through for third. Rob Logan and Curtis Cooksey right in the fight as well. Couple drivers together over in turn number 1. Another driver we're going to watch for to see how far he can move forward. That's Nick Firestone, who had to recover from the tail of the field, was able to get up into the top 20. Firestone going to try to work his way into the top 10. Two drivers, as I said, already out over there in turn number 1. Almost impossible to tell you who they are with the sun starting to work its way down towards the horizon here. Fisher's coming on strong. Brian Fisher now in the 90. Up into the 7th position. Musser with the quickest lap. 49.808, pulls away to about a half a second advantage already over Musgrave. Open now, the win to third. Firestone now in the 17th position. They're going to try to keep working his way forward. Jordan Musser, the number 3, just trying to stretch it away. Get that race victory locked in to start the season. Great field of competitors here in this S4 category. Jordan Musser, Willie Musgrave, 1-2, Open in third. Eddie Open, your reigning champion. Chris Jennings continuing his push back to the front as well. 175T on the side of that DR kart for Jennings, now into 11th. Eddie Open now with the quickest lap. He's closing in on Musgrave a little here. .650 for Open. Driver goes off the racetrack here. You're done. That's Peck, I believe. Justin Peck off the racetrack on the exit of turn number 5. Gets high-sided out there. To me, like he thinks he might have got tagged from behind coming into that corner. I didn't see it. All I saw was the dust and the spin. Musser resets fast time. 49.623 for Musser. We got drivers off here at the end of the back straightaway as well. That's David Conyers in the 33D. Going off over in turn number 11, able to get back on the racetrack. Brian Fisher now with a fast lap of the race. 49.574 Fisher into 7th position, quick lap as he tries now to reel in Robert Marks. Fisher currently running in the 7th position, trying to work his way forward. Eddie Open is sideways. He and Musgrave with contact. Oh no, that's your reigning champion in the number 1. Backwards in turn number 1. They got the yellow flags flying down in the corner. Musgrave trying to get himself restarted, and he will. Yellow flag still flying. No, they're just going to pull that car backwards for Open. This will be a drop race for your reigning national champion in the S4 category. Eddie Open out of this one after a battle with Willie Musgrave. One driver off of the middle of the back straightaway as well, as we got a lot of carnage here right now in our S4 class. That driver going to stay on the racetrack, it looks like. Toss a little gravel out there for us. And then pull into pit lane in the number 28. It's like Todd Wilson. Musser across the line again, closing in on the halfway point. Great fight here for second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. The contact between Willie Musgrave and Eddie Olpen has opened things up here. Brian Fisher and Robert Marks able to go through. Marks into fourth, Fisher into the fifth spot. Brian Fisher now into the fourth spot as he's able to get by Robert Marks. Remember, Fisher had that broken brake hub, the brake disc hub. He's able to work his way now in to the fourth position. Looks like Rob Logan able to get by. Rob Logan's battling it out here right now with Curtis Cooksey for second as well. This is allowing Musser to pull away. Cooksey back into second. Logan third. Fisher fourth. Fifth is Marks rather. Sixth is Musgrave. Seventh is PP Mastro. Eighth, Chris Jennings. Ninth, Don McGregor. And 10th, Steve McCaffrey. Remember, in this S4 class, combined weekend points, $1,000 purse, $500 to win. $500 to win this one. .1 second now the advantage for Jordan Musser as he leads over Rob Logan. Couple of drivers here getting the black flag as we have our leaders rolling through some of the competitors that have been involved in on-track incidents. 8 laps now remaining for Musser. Rob Logan in the 33 has been able to get back into second. That fight not near done yet. Brian Fisher in the DRT entry, the number 90, has showed good pace, able to get by Robert Marks. Been a long road for Fisher here today. Musser, Logan, Cooksey all running near the pointy end of the grid all day. Fisher now trying to hold off Robert Marks. This is when it starts getting tough on our Masters drivers. Final 7-8 laps. One driver off over in turn number 2 and 3. I believe he's been given the black flag to get off the racetrack. Good little fight here for fourth. Robert Marks able to get back by Brian Fisher. So Robert Marks takes over fourth once again. Laps winding down here in S4. This category brought to you by DRT Racing. Jordan Musser is just stretching it away again here. It's been his weekend in the S4 category. We talked about some of the drivers working their way back towards the front of the grid. Nick Firestone's been able to get up into the 11th position now, working to try to find a way into the top 10. It's Musser leading the way with 5 to go. Just turned the fastest lap of the race at 49.522. Musser leading the way. Rob Logan in second. Curtis Cooksey third. Robert Marks in fourth. And Brian Fisher rounding out the top 5. Willie Musgrave now in 6th. Chris Jennings in 7th. Don McGregor 8th. PP Mastro in 9th. And Steve McCaffrey 10th. It's Nick Firestone, Mike Smith, Lance Lane, Jet Davis, and Mike Potikin rounding out your top 15. Musser's pretty much long gone here. But this fight for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th is not over. Musser resets fast time here on lap 17. 49.489. Musser quicker yet. That 3G kart racing Birel is just coming in here on lap 17. Musser is trucking. 49.489. Cooksey 2nd, Logan 3rd, Marks 4th, Fisher 5th. Two laps to go here, 2 to go. Robert Marks starting to get racy to go after 3rd. He'll go to the inside of Logan. Marks over to 3rd. Robert Marks back to P3. What a run for Robert Marks. He fell back a couple of spots, but was able to get back by Fisher and back by Logan. That's a podium position for Robert Marks. Marks back on the throttle early, coming out of 5. Needs to get a good run through here. Here comes Musser. White flag flying for Musser for the win. Look at these guys going back and forth at it. Fisher now trying to fight through here. Marks having to hold back off Logan. Fisher to the outside. Musgrave's in there now. Fisher trying to dive to the bottom. Musgrave back at it. Here comes Musgrave to the inside of Fisher. No. Not quite enough for Musgrave. Musser with the lead. Cooksey in 2nd. Marks now in 3rd spot. Logan got a handful of CRG. Just steering that thing up on the wheel through 5. Down the back straightaway, though. Let's point our attention where it is deserved. Your winner right now in the S4 category domination for Jordan Musser. Musser, your winner at S4. Curtis Cooksey ends up in 2nd. 3rd is Marks. 4th, Logan. 5th, Fisher. 6th, Musgrave. 7th, Jennings. 8th, McGregor. PP Mastro in 9th. And Steve McCaffrey rounds out the top 10. You know what it was, folks? Robert Marks went to In-N-Out Burger last night. I have to believe that played a factor in his victory today. Sometimes you got to have protein. His victory to 3rd. 3rd place today for Marks. David Cole's like, it's not a victory, Rob, it's 3rd. But you're right. Nonetheless, I'll tell you, Marks came across the line and did a fist pump like he wanted, because that battle between himself and Fisher and Logan was epic. That was a hardcore battle. Those drivers out there, left and right, making passes all over the place. Logan was able to get back by. I'll tell you, what a run for Robert Marks. Great job. Margin of victory, almost 6 seconds, 5.9 seconds for Jordan Musser over Curtis Cooksey. And then Cooksey had that little advantage as the guys behind him, maybe about a half a second. The rest of them, they were battling like crazy. Marks, Logan, Fisher, and Musgrave went at it all race long. But in the end, it comes down to the victor here today being Jordan Musser. Great run for him. And we'll head downstairs and have a quick chat with Jordan as the Texan scores the Pro Tour victory. Heck of a battle there, as I said, in that S4 class, but it wasn't for the victory. No battle at all for the win. As Musser just had things on cruise control. In fact, turning his fast lap of the race on lap 17. The 3G kart racing Burrell just coming in there near the end of that one. We'll get a hold of Jordan here when we can to have a quick chat with him. Jordan, congratulations, buddy. One of those weekends or one of those days, let's say day right now, let's see if the weekend continues, but man, one of those days you kind of dream about. Everything worked good for you. Whole shots, getting out in front, and then just turning great laps. As I said, I don't know if you heard it, your fast lap was lap 17 of the main event. You know the car setup's good when you're cranking your fast lap out when people are chasing you.
Yeah, man, I'm getting used to this dry air. My tongue's stuck to the inside of my mouth. But I got to thank 3G Kart Racing for one of the best karts I've ever driven ever. I mean, it was that good, and it's obvious on the racetrack. So I can't thank them enough. We worked really hard, and last season we did well, but we were never where we really thought we could be. So Dave put it down and got the right equipment under me, and obviously it shows. And then Rainey, man, Sweet Tech Racing Engines. He's been tuning all my stuff all weekend, and every session the chassis gets a little better, motor gets a little better. I don't think we ever made a step back, so I can't complain with that.
So that doesn't bode well for the guys tomorrow, does it? You feeling good?
I mean, after winning by that kind of margin, of course, I feel great, but I know about I've raced against Curtis and all these guys many times, and you never know where they're going to find a little extra. So I'm never going to kind of let my guard down and keep pushing hard every session, and just hopefully I can get another win tomorrow.
Jordan, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you very much, Rob.
There he is, folks. Jordan Musser, a huge victory today for 3G Kart Racing in Burrell as he scores the win, a dominant win, even though in the S4 category. Jordan Musser starts the season off P1 in S4. We are back live, ladies and gentlemen, and wrapping up what has been an amazing day here thus far. Just 2 more races to go as the sun starts working its way to the horizon. Luckily for us, we've got lights here we can crank on if needed. But this is going to make things interesting, especially for our S1 drivers, as they're going to be going right into the light as they work their way up here. It is now Tag Cadet getting set to go. This category brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, and they'll roll around for one more circuit. And we'll see who's able to step it up for the victory here today. Stingray Robb, quickest driver in that second heat race. He'll take the pole position here alongside Chase Farley in the number 100. Row 2 will be Roy Fulmer, the 4th in the 186, and Nick Bruckner in the 74. Row 3, Jackson Logsdon on the inside, Jagger Jones on the outside, Logsdon in the 99, Jones in the 98. Row 4, 7th and 8th, we'll see Anthony Willis start alongside Trenton Sparks, Willis in the 73, Sparks in the 32. Capping off your top 10 is Jonathan Shore in the number 49 and Gary Lyles in the number 16. Row 6, it'll be Derek Delorier in the number 2D and Dante Yu in the number 44. Row 7, Oliver Calvo on the inside, Diesel West on the outside, Calvo in the number 12, West in the 21. Hunter Kelly, national number 1, your champion from last year, going to start 15th alongside Ryan Charteau in the 17. Well, row 9 has Miles Farhan and Jace Jones. Farhan in the number 981, Jones the 198. Now back into row number 10, Joseph Danielle in the number 25 and Jude Loxton in the 117. Well, row 11 sees Riley Dickinson in the number 53 start alongside Ryan Lewis in the 65. Row 12, 23rd and 24th of this 31-car field. Liam Lech and Austin Torgerson. Lech in the 177, Torgerson in the number 88. Row 13 has Tristan McLeod in the number 3D and Philip Niemkiewicz in the number 10. Well, Nick Newfer and Colin Queen will be on row number 14. Then it'll be Zoe Edenholm, Hayden Lefevre, and Jace Denmark Gesell. We are set to go, but the drivers are not. No one in position coming out onto the start-finish line. Not sure what happened there, but we're going to go around one more time. Once again, it will be Stingray Robb and Chase Farley on the front row here in Tag Cadet. Here come the drivers now. Let's see if we can go green this time by. No, I didn't think so. I think our race director is going to head over to talk to our pole sitter, Stingray Robb, a little quick coming up here to the line, I believe. Let's have a look at Terry Bybee out there. He wants to have a little talk with somebody. Might have been Chase Farley's actually asking for a little more speed. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to get back at it here momentarily and hopefully get these guys started. Sun's starting to work its way to the horizon, as we said. We still got a couple classes to go. We got S1 after this. But that Pro Main is going to be a lot of fun to watch. once again. Let's see if we can get these drivers underway. Time to drop the hammer and get going. $16-lapper? Nope, it's going to be down to 13, I believe. Obviously, these drivers having trouble getting going, so it'll be a 13-lap race for our tag cadets. They're in their positions, and we're looking to go green. I like where they are now, and so does the race director. We are green. Racing with our tag cadets into turn number 1. 13-lapper. One driver around further up. The other driver's off the racetrack. Another spinning around here. A couple drivers further back having trouble, but most of them able to get themselves righted and moving forward. And we are underway. 3 drivers slowly getting away. Another off the track of the exit of turn number 3. Looks like it was 4 in total in turn number 1. And we lost 1 over here in turn number 3. But we are underway nonetheless for a 13-lapper in tag cadet. S1 drivers now getting themselves ready on the grid. Stingray Robb with the lead. Fulmer up into second. Indeed, Fulmer to second. Logston now in third. Willis in fourth. Farley fifth. Bruckner now in sixth spot. Jonathan Schoen in seventh. Dante Yu in eighth. Diesel West in ninth. And Jagger Jones in 10th. Tag cadet drivers are racing. Everybody's settling in for the battle here now. We know what happens up front with these young pilots. They know how to get themselves into that draft pack and try to pull away. 3 drivers up front trying to do just that. Fulmer and Logston trying to latch on to Stingray Robb to see if they can't pull away, but no, Fulmer's actually going to go by on the inside. Logston gives him a little bit of help. He looks to the inside, and that bump was all it took. Chase Farley in the 100, now part of the fight. It's a 4-driver battle up front, but they'll go 2 by 2 into 1. Now it's 5 drivers as Anthony Willis has been able to close up. They need to just start racing forward. Otherwise, it's going to be Bruckner in there as well, who currently runs in 6th spot. A lead group battling away, not getting into order and trying to pull away, but fighting. They were 2 by 2 going through turn 1 last time by. Chase Farley's been able to work his way back into the lead now. Robb in the number 316 trying to stay with them. Farley's just trying to check out front. And they're going to keep battling it. Logston now to the inside of Fulmer to take over third. Roy Fulmer now fourth, Willis fifth, and here comes Bruckner to the party. Diesel West would like to be part of it too. West in the 21. God, like Diesel coming up to me. David Cole, I was calling him Diesel. No, he came up and straightened me out quick. Diesel West, like Vin Diesel, but not spelt that way. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't mess with him. He was pretty firm when he came up and wanted to make sure I was going to say his name correctly, and I respect that. That's good. Anyways, Diesel right there. And the number 21, if they keep racing, he's going to be part of this lead group. Look at him rolling up here right now. He just turned his fastest lap of 56.6. No doubt, he's 0.2 of a second quicker than Willis right in front of him. In fact, Diesel West in the number 7, the quickest of the top 7. He's quicker than anybody in front of him right now. West in the 21Y, trying to close up. He's got to keep turning those good laps. He'll find himself right on the rear bumper of Anthony Willis or Nick Bruckner, and then they'll be able to start working forward. Chase Farley, however, trying to pull away. He was about 0.3 of a second quicker. Farley, Robb, Fulmer, Logston, Bruckner, Willis, and West. That's your top 7. That's that lead group. And West is, in fact, going at it. Here goes West trying to find a way by Willis already. Diesel West says, I'm not just going to catch you. I'm going to the front here. I just told Howden now to say my name. I'm going to the front. He better be talking about me if I'm going to tell him that. And I am, because he's moving. Oh, here's a great move to the inside of Willis. So West now up into 6th spot. Let's see if he can continue this battle. We said this was going to be a 13-lapper as the drivers messed around a little too much at the start. So we are going to be 6 laps down next time by, 6 laps to go next time by. 6 to go next time by. They'll give them the halfway point. 6 laps remaining. Check this out. We got more shaking and baking up front right now. Diesel West up to 3rd. Chase Farley in the 100, your leader. Jackson Logs in 2nd in the 99. Diesel West in the number 21 up to 3rd. Roy Fulmer in the 186 now to 4th spot. Stingray Robb in 5th. Nick Bruckner 6th. And Anthony Willis in 7th. Chase Farley, though, has checked out. Look at West battling it out here with Logston. These guys are going at it right now. Logston and West trading a little paint there coming through 5. This is allowing Farley to stretch it away. 1.8 seconds was the advantage last time by. I got a feeling we're going to be under the lights for the S1 race. This is going to be awesome. Oh, yeah. Somebody get those lights on. Let's go. S1's going to be fun to watch. So many championships in that category. We've talked about it. We've got last year's S1 champion, last year's S1 runner-up. We've got last year's S2 champion, last year's S2 SuperNationals champion, the 2012 Pro Tour champion in S1, and the 2011 and the 2011 S4 champion in Jimmy McNeil. It is an all-star race of SKUSA proportion in that S1 category. Diesel West back on track. Let's talk about these tag cadets. The guys we'll see in maybe tag senior S1 and say what, 6 years, 7 years? I love it. They are having a great fight here right now, but the fight's for second. It is not for the lead because Chase Farley has up and checked out. The number 100 energy driver, gone. 3.1 seconds last time by, 4 to go. 4 laps remaining for Chase Farley. Diesel West in 2nd. He's able to get to the front of that group. Nick Bruckner in 3rd. Jackson Logston in 4th. Farley turning great times right now as well. A 57.3 last time by. Diesel West a 58.0, 57.9 for Bruckner, 58.4 for Logston, 57.8 for Stingray Robb. Farley a half a second quicker every lap as he's got it going in Tag Cadet. First of 2 days of broadcasting here from Musselman Honda Circuit, our EKN Trackside Live program brought to you this weekend by Champion Racing and Intrepid. Oliver Calvo working his way up into the top 10 as well. As we look a little further back, Roy Fulmer now running in 7th position. Oliver Calvo in 8th, Miles Farhan in 9th, and Ron Charteau rounding out the top 10. Jagger Jones, Trenton Sparks, Jonathan Schoen, Nick Neufer, and Dante Yu, the top 15. Driver over, or a little bit of contact over there in turn number 7. That's the left-hander coming through the S's. We're getting the yellows flying over here. Yellows flying. That driver just trying to get off the racetrack. They'll get that card out of the way. Good to see that cadet driver able to walk away, but feels like he's holding his arm or something. Tough little kid, though, to get out like that. You got to love it. Laps winding down here right now. 2 to go. 2 laps remaining. Chase Farley out front. We got to get the lights on in this racetrack because it's going to be dark by the time we get rolling with S1. Looking to wrap things up here, folks. It will be the white flag next time by. Checker flag flies. The checkered flies. It ends this race. Anthony Willis in 2nd. Stingray Robb 3rd. 4th is Trenton Sparks. 5th, Ryan Charteau. 6th, Miles Farhan. 7th, Logston. 8th, Jones. 9th. Not sure what happened to Diesel West. Here comes Diesel here. Must have been some contact between a couple of drivers as Diesel West back to 22nd after a great run. Chase Farley ends up taking the victory over Anthony Willis and Stingray Robb. We got a driver hurt over in turn number 7. So they've got the SKUSA officials attending to that driver. So anyways, Chase Farley with an amazing drive as the winner in that number 100. We'll get a quick chance to chat with Chase after a great run there. And again, as we said, the sun getting ready to hit the horizon very soon. We need to get these lights on here pretty soon because it is going to get dark here. Crazy finish for sure as we had a driver injured on the racetrack. Checkered flag flies. So we'll get a hold of Chase Farley when we can once he gets through here. Chase Farley's a little far in here right now, so we'll get a chance to talk to him a little later, I think. I don't see Chase here anywhere. So again, folks, we're going to cap things off here for this tag cadet class. Next up is going to be S1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to get things underway with the final race of the day and the pro event, the headline, the show. Lights are on here at the Honda Musselman Circuit. Those of you joining us on ekartingnews.com, hey, welcome. This is going to be a barn burner. We have got talent galore in the S1 category. This is the stock moto ladder system starting to bear fruit. We're seeing drivers work their way up through the S5 category, into S2, and finally into S1. We are ready to rock and roll. It will be the drivers in our category here, S1, getting set to go. All right, folks, we are set to go. 18 drivers this weekend in the Pro S1 category. They're racing for $1,750 on the weekend, $1,000 to the winner of the combined weekend points. Row number 9 will be Keenan Schmidtke on the outside in the Cosmic, number 132. Alongside Schmidtke out of Hawaii, the Flying Hawaiian. On the Tony Kart for Pure Karting, it is the number 15B of Alec Gumpfer. Row number 8 now starting on the outside in the pole position karting, DRT Racing, a number 6T. It's Jake French on the DR kart, and he'll start alongside the young drivers moved up from the S2 category. Mateus Podbo in the number 88, the CRG for Kimball Williams Racing. Row number 7 now on the outside on the Tony kart. It's Lloyd Mack in the number 141, and on the inside, Christian Bird in the number 324. Bird in the new GP America entry. Row number 6 on the outside. Former S2 national champion Kyle Hathcox in the number 24. The GP will start on the outside. And on the inside for M Squared Karting, it's the number 25 of Mike Beanie. Into the top 10 now on the outside. Another M Squared Karting Tony Kart, number 124. It's Tyler Bennett. And he'll start along the driver for DRT Racing in the number 44J, the Wild Thing, Josh Lane. Row number 4 on the outside, Corey Milne, double winner in the Summer Nationals when we were at Grand Junction. He's moved up to S1 in the number 105 CRG. Well, on the inside, former national champion in the GP for Aluminos, number 3 out of New Zealand, it is Daniel Bray. Row number 3 now, starting on the outside, former S4 national champion in the Team Vidalia, CRG USA, number 101, it's Jimmy McNeil. And on the inside, good to see him back, Cody Hodgson in the Tony Kart, number 155. Row number 2, 2 of the rookie stars coming into the program this year on the outside. Reigning S2 national champion, Sabra Cook in the CRG USA, number 317. And on the inside, the S2 winner of the Super Nationals last year, Billy Musgrave. 18 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. Off pole, national number 2, Joey Wimsett. And on the inside, your reigning champion, Fritz Leesman. Green, green, green. Whole shot goes to Leesman. No. Wimsett side by side. They're going to bump wheels going into the corner. It looked like Wimsett was going to be able to take him, but he does not. He's going to try him back here in turn number 2 to the inside. No. Leesman comes across the bow. We are S1 Racing. Under the lights here at Musselman. I don't care what you're doing, put it down. Drop the tools and get to the fence. Pro S1 shifter racing for you here in Tucson. Fritz Leesman leading the opening lap, but as we saw in those heat races, Wimsett, Musgrave, and Cook right there and ready to fight. Musgrave going to go right at Wimsett. Tries to get him on the outside to turn number 11, but not enough. Cook's getting racy as well. Sabra Cook's getting racy. She wants to get by Musgrave. McNeil now runs in 5th. Hodgson 6th. Milne in 7th. Bennett 8th. Beanie 9th. And Kyle Hathcox rounding out your top 10. Musgrave starting to get racy. He's poking that Tony Kart to the inside, trying to find a way by Wimsett. One of the things in this S1 category, it's hard to shake these guys. You can't just show a nose and maybe have them flinch, maybe have them make a mistake. These are the pros. You got to earn a pass, and when you take it, you have to take it aggressively with force. Here comes Musgrave to the inside. Book it. Musgrave through. to take over second. Musgrave with a Tony Kart to P2. Sabra Cook coming after Wimsett as well. No, here goes Wimsett back to the inside in turn one. That's how you take it. Wimsett just dives the CRG back to the apex. Fritzer's like, guys, have at it behind me. You can do whatever you want. I'll feel free to pull away. Oh, there's trouble for Musgrave. Tries to go to the inside of Wimsett, overcooks it, and Cook puts it down the inside. Musgrave just too hard to the apex of turn 4. The car drifted out, away from the apex. Cook back on the throttle, down to the inside to take over third. Fritzer starting to pull away a little bit here. It's a CRG 1-2-3, but Cook trying to roll it up here on Wimsett. Sabra Cook back at home behind the wheel, that CRG shifter, and she is looking good. Wimsett with the quickest lap, 48.734, as he's trying to close back up on Leisman. Cook runs in third, Musgrave fourth, Hodgson fifth, McNeil sixth as Hodgson able to get by McNeil now. Corey Milne in the 7th spot. Tyler Bennett 8th. Jake French, remember, started 16th. French already to 9th. What a great run here for Jake French, up to 9th position. Leisman trying to stretch away, and Cook doing what she can to try to stay with Wimsett. Wimsett won the opening heat race. Leisman came back and won heat race number 2. And now leads it here by about 0.4 of a second. Musgrave now just turns the fast lap, 48.648. Hodgson trying to close back up. McNeil running in the 6th spot. 7th is Milne. Two rookies, Cook and Musgrave, trying to challenge the establishment, challenge those two veteran drivers in Leisman and Wimsett. They don't have the number 1 and the number 2 on the side of those cars because they like the way it looks. That's what they earned last year, 1st and 2nd in the points in the S1 category. National number 1 plate, national number 2 plate. Wimsett resets fast lap, 48.561, another 1/10 of a second quicker. Wimsett closing back up on Leisman. Oh, I love these shifter carts in the dark. You can see the sparks coming off when they get up on the curb. Look at these guys all just having it out here. Sabra Cook about 0.4 of a second back right now, trying to close up. Musgrave having trouble hanging with them right now. He's 4th and fading a little bit. Cook in the number 317 CRG trying to hang on. Obviously elected, not so much elected, but you don't run that number 1 plate when you win it in S2. You put it in the shelf and step up, run with the big dogs. Next year, top 3 drivers will be mandated to move to the S1 category. New fast time laid down by Sabra Cook, 48.506. Fast time now belongs to Sabra. She's got to keep putting in consistent laps here. Long way to go. Still 14 laps remaining. Beautiful horizon here at the Musselman Honda Circuit. Just a beautiful evening here in Tucson. Temperature starting to fall a little bit, but it ain't changing what we got on the racetrack right now because they are heating it up. Musgrave, I said he was having trouble hanging, but he is stepping it back up again. Musgrave is closed. He just turned his fastest lap of 58.553. He was 0.3 of a second quicker than both Wimsett and Cook. So Musgrave back in the fight. Behind that lead quartet, it's Cody Hodgson in the 5th position. By himself on track, essentially. Then it's Jimmy McNeil and Corey Milne running pretty close together there. That is in the 6th and 7th spot. Then it's back to Jake French in 8th, Daniel Bray in 9th, and Tyler Bennett in 10th. Another fast lap for Sabra Cook. Cook again back on the throttle. She drops it down to a 48.488. Cook, the fastest driver on the racetrack. If she can keep this up, we're going to find her battling with these two leaders. CRG drivers, 1, 2, 3. Musgrave doing whatever he can to hang. He closed back up, and now he's dropped off again. Look at Sabra Cook making a move here. She closes right up on Wimsett. Oh, yeah. The diminutive Sabra Cook. Here comes Wimsett to the inside. New leader. Wimsett takes over the lead. Leesman trying to stick with him. Cook not quite there to be able to make a move. But this allowed Musgrave to come back in a little closer. Joey Wimsett in the number 2. Back to the lead with an aggressive outbreaking move. Here goes Cook to the inside. Almost gets by. Sabra Cook has a look to the inside of Leesman in turn number 5. This is the best S1 race we have ever seen on the Pro Tour. They are having it out right now. Look at Wimsett trying to pull away. Here comes Cook. Right on Leesman. She'll go to the inside. No. Cook has a look at it, though. I think she's faster than Leesman. She's got to believe it. Fritzer trying to close back up halfway through. 10 down, 10 to go. Who's got the fitness here? Who's got the durability? Who's got what it takes, the endurance to go to the end and not lose anything in terms of driver, the focus, the strength? We all know how physical these 125 machines can be. You've got to be in tip-top shape to be able to drive them at 100%. They're stacking them back up behind Wimsett, and that has allowed Musgrave. Look at, he's up on the wheel. He's like, come on, I want to be back into this. There goes Leesman and Wimsett side by side. Here comes Cook. Cook into second. No. Leesman back with him. No, Cook says no way. Sabra Cook says no way, bro. You got to bring more than that. So it's Wimsett back to the lead. Cook into second. She's able to get by the inside, then comes across the bow on Leesman in turn number 2. Sabra Cook's letting it all hang out here in S1. Here they come again. 8 laps remaining. Wimsett leads, Cook second, Leesman third, Musgrave fourth. Wimsett running with CRG USA here on the Pro Tour. Definitely acting as a bit of a mentor for Sabra Cook, and she is rising to the occasion today. You know, I know there's other great racing further back in the pack here right now, but I am having trouble not focusing on this lead quartet because Musgrave is back. All this racing has allowed Musgrave to get back in the hunt. The entire top 4 separated by less than 7/10 of a second. Hodgson now 5th, Milne 6th, McNeil 7th. Cook trying to get herself into position to take a run at Wimsett here. Fritz Leesman's going to have to watch out because I think Musgrave's getting ready to fight. He's getting ready to go at it. Who's got, as I said, the physical endurance? Who's got the stamina to be good at the end? Check out Joey Wimsett right now, starting to stretch away a little bit, about 0.3 of a second. What a field we have in S1. As I said, Hodgson running comfortably there in the 5th spot. 6th is Milne, 7th McNeil, 8th French, 9th Bray, 10th Tyler Bennett. Lap starting to wind down. Now we start looking at this battle for the final couple of laps. 6 to go. 6 laps remaining. Good fight here as well for the top 10. Alec Gumpfer, I believe, working his way into the top 10 now. Indeed, Gumpfer able to get by Tyler Bennett. Gumpfer now going to see if he can't reel in Daniel Bray. It is the number 2 of Wimsett, though, out front. He turns a 48.495, but guess who just reset fast lap? Saber Cook. 48.439. Cook, again, resetting fast lap. She's getting a little bit of a gap between herself. Here comes Cook. Great run onto the front straightaway. Sabra Cook right on Wimsett into turn number 1. She'll go to the inside. No. Wimsett says no. Wow, he tried to go to the inside on that one. She tried it, and Wimsett kind of just played it down to the left a little bit. Oh, trouble for it. Wimsett has trouble coming out. He could be hurt. Oh, no. Cook's trying to hold on. Cook to the inside in turn number 6. No. I thought Wimsett made a mistake, maybe missed a shift coming out of turn number 4. I don't know how he held that lead. That has allowed Musgrave right back into the fight. In fact, Musgrave's going at it here with Leisman. How did Wimsett hold on to the lead? I think he just caught Cook totally off guard. They've got a bit of a gap here with 4 to go. Look at Musgrave just jumping in the seat saying, I need a little bit more. Here comes Musgrave looking to the inside of Leisman. Cook's right on top of Wimsett this time. Sabra Cook dogging the veteran Wimsett, trying to slip through here. Unreal. Three laps remaining. 3 laps to go. Here goes Leisman to the inside of Cook. Able to get by, so Fritz Leisman takes the spot back. Here goes Cook, though, back by a turn. They're side by side. Musgrave's trying to hold. Here comes Cook to the inside again. Musgrave's right there. Sabra says, I'm there for you. I'll battle you. They're coming out here again. This has allowed Wimsett to pull away. Joey Wimsett's going to win this thing. But the battle for second, third, not done. Who's going to be on the podium? Sabra Cook decided to take it right back at Leisman. Talk about earning your stripes in your first S1 race coming down the back chute. Hard to go deeper on the brakes than Leisman. He's so strong. 2 to go this time by. 2 laps to go. 2 laps remaining. Big lead right now for Wimsett. He's going to take a win like he did last year in the opening round. They are not going to catch him now, barring a technical issue. But what we're going to watch is a battle here for second, third, and fourth. Here comes Musgrave trying to go to the inside of Cook. No, she does not take it. Here goes Cook to the inside, to Leisman in turn 5. Book it! Cook to the inside. She takes third or second spot back from Leisman. I cannot believe it. What a race here for Sabra Cook. Wimsett's got a massive advantage right now. They'll see the white flag this time by. She blocks a little to the inside coming to turn 11. Can she hold on to second? Leisman's going to try the brakes into turn number 1. You know it. He'll slide job through. He gets it done. Cook going to go back on the inside. Fritz so good into turn number 1. Sabre just doesn't have what it takes it to block down just enough to make it harder. She's right back on top of him again. She runs in third. Leisman into second. Leisman a little bit deeper into the corner into turn number 5. That allows Sabre to get right back on it. She needs a better run. She had a bit of trouble coming apex off the corner of turn 5. She's right back up on Leisman. Wimsett's going to win this boy, but can Cook put it on the podium in her first ever S1 race? She'll have to hold off. And she does. The win's going to go to Joey Wimsett. Second place, Fritz Leisman. Third, Sabre Cook. What a race. Unbelievable race in S1. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Woo! That's a race. That was awesome. Double checkered flag. Start finish from Aaron Likens, the official starter of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour. What a race in S1. Joey Wimsett with the victory. Sabra Cook laying it down, going toe-to-toe with Fritz Leisman. That's what I'm talking about. Sabra Cook went side by side with Leisman through turn number 2 and 3. Did not give an inch. The sparks were flying. That's what I'm talking about. What an unbelievable battle that was. Darren Elliott, tell me what you think about that race.
I think that is one seriously fast girl.
Fritz Leisman's going to bring the number 1 here. Great run for him.
Not just a fast girl, but a very smart, level-headed girl. Whoa, got about ran over. But anyways, all the decisions that were made were very, very good decisions.
There it is, Darren Elliott, veteran driver, making the call there. What a battle between Fritz Leisman and Sabra Cook. What a great fight out there. They were going at it. We're going to get a hold of Sabra when the helmet comes off, have a quick chat with her as they were able to get in here a little bit quicker than Joey Wimsett. That's what I'm talking about. That was fantastic. Come over here so you don't get run over. Sabra, congratulations. Guys, Sabra Cook, second spot, or third spot today. You know what? The great thing about that was they were battling you. They were trying to shake you a little bit. You didn't let it happen. You were side by side coming back through turn 2. You were sparks everywhere side by side. You feel a little more confident right now?
A little bit. I mean, I didn't really come here with too high of expectations because it's S1. So I just tried to train hard and be as prepared as I could. And so I guess it paid off pretty well. I think it did. Yeah, it did. CRG USA gave me a great package to run. And Ricardo's doing a great job tuning on my car. And Darcy's been a big help with the motors. So it's been a good weekend so far.
Well done, Sabra. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Sabra Cook, folks. How about that race? What a run for Sabra. God, that was fun to watch. Just an amazing race all around. A couple drivers who have come up from the S2 category, both Sabra Cook and Billy Musgrave. What a run for Musgrave as well. He needs a little bit more because, man, he was right there. Great run for him. We got to go down and find Joey Wimsett here so we can cap off this broadcast. Those listening on EKN Live, there he is. Joey, first off, congratulations, dude. You know, I know you're coaching and mentoring with Sabra a little bit, but you might be doing too good of a job because she put a lot of pressure on you there. And it was actually her taking it back to Leisman. He had passed her in 1, and they went side by side through 2 and 3. She wouldn't give it up, and that gave you just enough advantage to pull away. You guys were so evenly matched.
Yeah, she's doing great all week, and I'm really proud of her, and she's really getting better. From last year to this year, I'm amazed with her and Musgrave, honestly. They're both doing great.
Let's talk about you now, though, buddy. Let's not worry about that because, man, what a great run for you. To have to battle again with Fritzer, you just looked so good. The car was good, but, dude, you were real strong.
Yeah, I felt really great. I kind of had to bonsai Fritz a little bit. I was probably 7 kart lengths back on that pass, but I made it stick, and he tried to rebound, and I was able to defend well enough, and I'm glad they started battling, give me a little bit of a gap.
Hey, congratulations on a great start to the season.
Thank you.
Joey Wimsett, folks, our winner today. Great run for Wimsett. The CRG USA entry as well. What a great drive. Wimsett in the national number 2 gets the season kicked off with a victory. Fritz Leisman, as always, right there. One of the best on the brakes you've ever seen. Super late braking maneuver. But, man, what a way to start things off with this Pro Tour. Last year's S2 champion, Sabra Cook, stepping it up and challenging the big dogs. We are in for a heck of a season in S1. Those of you joining us on ekartingnews.com, thank you very much for being here. What an amazing drive. Your winner today in the S1 category, Joey Wimsett.